Blue Expanse City, Shui clan's entrance. When Shui Dingtian landed, he noticed that the place was eerily quiet. There weren't even guards around. It made his heart nervous and he rushed inside. He soon arrived outside the main hall. As he looked inside, he saw a familiar figure in the seat of honor, Hell Valley's seventh elder, Yugichi. The seventh elder was leisurely nursing a cup of tea. I wasn't aware the seventh elder graced us with his presence. Please forgive me for not welcoming you. The seventh elder's presence here intimidated Shui Dingtian, but he forced himself to show proper respect as if all was normal in the world. Giving him a cursory glance, Yugichi broke out in an insidious grin. Shui Dingtian, you've been under Hell Valley's care for a century now. We've always been kind to you. Without a doubt. Thanks to Hell Valley and seventh elder assisting us, Shui clan reached today's glory. Shui Dingtian forced his anxiety down, hiding it behind a smile. Yugichi nodded and stood up. He strolled before Shui Dingtian and patted his shoulder with a warm smile. It's great that you think so. Then, as he spoke, Yugichi's face twisted and clawed at Shui Dingtian's shoulder as he thundered, "Why did you collude with outsiders and steal Hell Valley's diamond sand?" Shui Dingtian was shaking in fear and fell on his knees to kowtow. Seventh elder, this is a misunderstanding. The Shui clan has been nothing but loyal to Hell Valley. We would never do such a thing. There was a time I thought the same, that you wouldn't be taking advantage of our kindness then move behind our backs. But that time has long passed. Then let me ask you, where is your grandchild, Xuaningxiang? Shui Dingtian stammered for a response, but words left him. Grunting, Yugichi slapped the table to splinters and barked, "I will tell you. She and two runts stole my diamond sand and they now lie dead in Allbeast Mountain Range." Yugichi's brow shook as he recalled the dreadful howl he heard at that time. If he had stayed a moment longer, he'd be a goner. Despite not finishing the trio off, he assumed the monster would have finished the job with how wounded they were. He thought ruefully about this event. Xuaningxiang was of use to him, but now she was gone. He came back empty-handed too, no diamond sand and neither a cauldron. Sighing, Yugichi placed his rage on the Shui clan. "Men, bring them in." Yugichi clapped and three bone-tempering experts pulled three people in chains. They were Shui Wanlong and his sons, Shui Gang and Shui Lin. Heavy hooks dug deep into their shoulders, locking their clavicles in place and sealing their cultivation. From the bruises and wounds all over their bodies, it was clear how close they were to breathing their last. Shui Dingtian was filled with sorrow and tears fell as he looked at them. "Seventh elder." Shui Dingtian bellowed and stared down the smirking Yugichi with bloodshot eyes. Shui clan sacrificed its all this past century for Hell Valley in defending Blue Expanse City. Is this how Hell Valley repays its vassal clan's hard work? Hehe, your second-rate clan is nothing but garbage. Hell Valley can have as many as it wants. To me, you're no vassals, but somewhat useful watchdogs. We throw you a bone, a reward, and you should be skipping around in joy. When a dog starts raising questions to his master about getting credit for its hard work, it must be put down. Yugichi cackled. Unable to bear Yugichi's mockery any further, Shui Dingtian clenched his fist and unleashed his fury. Exerting his pressure as a profound heaven expert, he pushed back the three bone-tempering experts around him while Yugichi just watched on with naked killing intent. It seems that the watchdog wants to take a bite out of its master. Then it's time to replace it. Yugichi. In his entire life, this was the first time Shui Dingtian uttered the seventh elder's taboo name out of sheer rage. Let me ask you. Isn't Ninga's marriage just a cover to use her as a cauldron and practice martial arts? Yugichi looked at him in surprise before laughing. I used to look down on you every time, but look at how smart you are. We've been at it for so long yet you're the only vassal clan that figured it out. So that's why you defected. It's all for a silly girl. Bastard. Shui Dingtian's fury exploded and rushed with his entire yuan qi laid bare. I'll kill you. Yugichi sneered, sidestepping Shui Dingtian's palm and delivering an attack of his own. The hit on his chest upset his blood flow and Shui Dingtian spat blood as he tumbled backward. Yugichi made use of Shui Dingtian's prone condition and delivered two more palm attacks. Shui Dingtian felt his chest burning and he spurted blood like a fountain. Shui Dingtian, you think you have what it takes to kill me? You're nothing but a greenhorn profound heaven stage cultivator that just broke through, while I am in the third layer. You are at the bottom and I am at the peak. You will never overcome this chasm. Yugichi then dealt another palm attack with bloodthirsty eyes. Old coot, die. But go in peace knowing that your son and grandsons will follow you. Powerless to do anything, Shui Dingtian closed his eyes awaiting the final strike. Such an ending, he never wished for his Shui clan. But at the very least, his dear granddaughter escaped this calamity. Xue Dingtian was relieved that Yugichi assumed her to be dead and wouldn't search for her. Stop! A high-pitched cry was heard and Yugichi stopped his attack midway. Looking ahead, he saw Xue Ningxiang at the gate, holding a dagger to her neck. You're alive. Yugichi was in shock. His sole reason for coming to this clan was to have her as a cauldron. Xue Ningxiang took in the sight of her suffering family, her grandfather beaten to a pulp, and her eyes teared. She only had hatred towards Yugichi for his cruelty. Dagger inching at her throat, Xue Ningxiang threatened, if you still want me as a cauldron, release them, or I will take my life right here and now. Yugichi mocked, hehe, Ninga, get off your high horse. We do need you to practice martial arts, but you aren't irreplaceable. You have nothing to bargain with. Xue Ningxiang was startled and worry gnawed her heart, but she recalled Zhuofan's analysis and showed her white neck as she mocked, Seventh Elder, you can't lie to me. I know Hell Valley lacks cauldrons, I know of my value. Since you do not care, then I will die along with my family. Xue Ningxiang then traced her dagger along her neck and blood trickled. Ninga, no, stop. Xue Ningxiang looked down on Yugichi, Seventh Elder. It seems to me that you're not yet ready to let me go. Yugichi's ruthless eyes flashed. Is that brat still alive? Xue Ningxiang avoided his gaze. She knew who he was talking about. He died in All Beast Mountain Range and you can go look for his body if you want to. But I'm afraid spiritual beasts would have devoured it by now. Don't try to lie to me. Yugichi sneered. I have many enemies, but that runt was the first to bring me to such a state, coming back empty-handed and heavily wounded. Chuckling, Yugichi continued, girlie, don't take this the wrong way, but you do not have what it takes to see through me. That runt must have told you. Xue Ningxiang only stared back, to which Yugichi shook his head. In any case, I will have to take a step back. Since you put me on the spot, I will not take your family's lives. Really? Xue Ningxiang was about to go help her grandfather enjoy, but Yugichi shook his hand and a hook bit into Xue Dingtian. A wail of agony resounded and Xue Dingtian blacked out. His chest was soaked in blood and his clavicle was pierced, just like his son's. Yugichi, I said I won't kill them, but your grandfather is a profound heaven expert. I have to make sure he falls in line. I will, of course, let them go once we're at Hell Valley. You better honor your word. Xue Ningxiang stared at him. Nodding, Yugichi snickered. How could I lie when you're so valuable? Men, take Miss Ninga to rest. We will return to Hell Valley on the morrow. An elegant youth arrived next to Xue Ningxiang along with 2 servants. Zhuofan would have recognized him in an instant. He was Yu Ming, who infiltrated Blackwind Mountain as Yang Ming and later escaped Windgaze City. Standing next to Xue Ningxiang, Yu Ming snickered, so you are the cauldron for my senior's use? I have to say, you sure are pretty. Let's go. Master, have you come up with a plan to deal with the Luo family? Their butler Zhuofan will be a big problem for us in the future. Brother Zhuo, the fact that he killed 2 of our elders, you didn't tell anyone else, right? I didn't. If this gets out, I'm afraid that the owner of the valley won't believe it. Truthfully, I also didn't believe it at first. For a little brat like him, no matter how strong he is, there is no way he could have killed 2 Heavenly Realm Masters on his own. However, a few months earlier, I also found this freak of nature. On top of that, I also took quite the beating from him. Seems like there's all sorts of strange people in this world. Master, then you are. We will first deal with this girl. Then, I will find a way to deal with Zhuofan. This is bad. Brother Zhuo is being tracked by the 7th Elder. This is all because of his relationship to me. Brother Zhuo. Heh, the Qing Yang that I gave that guy actually disappeared. Did he erase it by himself, or did he manage to take it for himself and break free from my control? I really am becoming senice. Just saying he managed to erase it is already considered to be impossible. How could he have possibly refined it? Let's say he's a god-tier master, there's still no way he could have taken my Qing Yang. Although if he really did manage to erase it, how will I be able to find him later? Ah, whatever, he'll come back on his own later. The man laughed in his cave, and the sound traveled for hundreds of miles, but there was no spiritual beast around to hear it. Meanwhile, a shockwave passed through the first area of All Beast Mountain Range and exposed a pitch-black cave. A naked man staggered outside in the gentle sunlight. His every step left deep prints in the earth, and even the rock crumbled to dust. He took another step and rested his hand on the cave wall for support. But his small action destroyed the stone wall completely and he fell to the ground. Taking a moment to adapt, his face now showed resolve. At a closer look, it was clear this man was Zhuofan. Success. As of now, I have given up on my old body and replaced it with a new own made out of Jin Gang. The body I have right now was only created by refining the Jin Gang sand. This power is just as strong as a rank 5 spirit soldier. The next thing to deal with is this flame. Earlier when I first received this from that mysterious master, I was not able to control it. But through the strange array's refining, it fused with his soul and became his soul flame. He could now use it any way he wished. However, after going through that hellish cultivation process, the flame has merged with my primordial spirit, which caused it to change into a primordial spirit fire. Not only can I control it now, the protection of the primordial spirit has been enhanced. They won't even be able to touch me. I almost forgot the reason why I did this. With but a thought, a pair of wings with lightning flickering over their surface burst from his back and lifted him 10 meters in the air. They were the wings of Thunder Skylark, a creature whose speed was incredible even against a profound heaven expert. This was why he chose to refine them into his body. Putting on new clothes, he flashed towards the blue expanse city like lightning. With them, he became a freak, a true monster. Hey, what's going on over there? Why is it so crowded? You don't know? Today is the big day for the Shui family's little miss. Look, here they come. Yuming Valley has sent out a procession to pick up the bride. I heard the groom is one of the top students in Yuming Valley. They even sent the 7th elder as an escort. Looks like the Shui family is trying to climb the social ladder by letting their miss marry into the Yuming Valley. I'm sorry about this. You can't stay with me anymore. When I step out of this gate, I'll never be able to come back again. I planned to take you in as part of our family, but it looks like that is not possible anymore. I'm sorry for this little guy. In any case, I must save my family. Miss, please come out. You don't have to worry anymore, Dad, Grandpa, as long as I'm here. Look, the bride came out. Miss Shui really is as beautiful as everyone says she is. Only people as beautiful as her can marry into one of the 7 noble families. Will the 7th elder be accompanying me? Of course. Lady Ning is very close to one of our disciples in Yuming Valley. It's only natural that I escort you, and make sure that you arrive safely at Yuming Valley. What do you mean escort? You're clearly here to keep an eye on me, but as long as the 7th elder leaves Qingming City, Brother Zhuo and the others will have a chance to run. Oh right, Miss Ning. Before we leave Qingming City, I will send some men to block the Wan Shou mountain range. This includes your little secret passageway. My men will keep a lookout for anything while I'm gone. Those 2 rats will never get away from my clutches. You've said enough. You have already given your life to protect your family. You can't protect anyone else. Miss Ning, please go ahead. No. What can I do now? I'm out of things to bargain with. What can I do to save Brother Zhuo and the others? Suddenly, Xuaningxiang's thunder ring flashed and her heart seized in panic. The thunder spirit ring is acting up. Don't tell me this is Brother Zhuo and the others. Don't come out. Xuaningxiang shouted at the sky, startling the onlookers. Ninga, I have come to save you. In response to Xuaningxiang's shout came another. It was Xie Tianyang piercing forward with star sword at Yugichi. Chimph, seems like you aren't dead yet. However, even though you're only at the first stage of the bone forging realm, you still dare to pick a fight with me. Yugichi, unafraid of the 4th grade spiritual weapon, struck back with a palm. He was shocked but didn't use the sword to defend and added more power to it. Yugichi's heart tightened and he vanished from his spot. The sword light struck the palanquin and turned it into splinters. The mysterious martial arts of the Jian Hu Fu, space-rupturing form. 9th form, free-flowing spirit. Are you from the Jian Hu Fu? How did you learn a unique martial technique at such a young age? Could it be? That's none of your business. HMPH, don't overestimate yourself. You have to understand, even if you can use the mysterious martial arts, the gulch between bone-tempering stage and profound heaven stage, there is a chasm that should never be crossed. Xie Tianyang was startled but could do nothing as Yugichi's palm slapped him into the air. HMPH, you shameful little brat. If it weren't for the Jian Hu Fu, I would have ended you with that strike. Xie Tianyang spat on his face and responded as if to spite him. If you're brave enough, then go ahead and kill me. If you do, then there will be a war between Yuming Valley and Jian Hu Fu. Do you think you can afford to do that? Wiping his face, Yugichi's tone turned colder with killing intent. You little brat. Vio, you actually think I'm afraid of Jian Hu Fu? You were the one who made trouble in my territory. Let's say, even if I did kill you, they can't do anything about it. Xuaningxiang cried. No. but Yugichi was dead set on killing him. Stop! An aged voice echoed and a golden sword wave hacked down. Yugichi wasn't about to receive it. This attack was unlike Xie Tianyang's. It was backed by the power of a profound heaven expert. He stopped his attack and jumped 6 meters back. Achem! We have a rare guest here. It's been 50 years since I last saw you. How have you been? The old man looked frail, his eyes cloudy, a stark contrast to the true expert he was. Even his right hand was missing 3 fingers, yet this hand was bony and showed its blue veins clearly. Proof he was a seasoned swordsman. 8th Elder. Things were going pretty well when I first met you, but now I only feel disgusted. 8th Elder, you came at just the right time. Quick, help me save Ninga. Tianyang, this is a family matter within the Yuming Valley. We have nothing to do with it. That's right, young man, if you don't mind your own business, you will end up paying a heavy price. The person next to you is a good example of that. If he didn't meddle in other people's matters, he wouldn't have lost 3 of his fingers. That time, if I weren't so naive, would I have fallen for your tricks? Haha, don't say it like that. Yu Ming laughed. My teacher once mentioned a story that was about this man's infamous period in his youth. If only he didn't start drooling over a beautiful girl from one of the affiliate families of our Yuming Valley, he wouldn't have been defeated while indulging in his stupid feelings. In the end, the leader of his family had to exchange 3 cities for his freedom, but he was never able to reattach those 3 fingers. Gritting his teeth, Jen Suifeng was so enraged that veins popped. Yugichi, don't take it too far. Or what, you'll attack? Yugichi made a sinister grin. 50 years ago you were no match for me, and now that is, even more, the case. If we really were to fight, it would be better if you called the 7th Elder of the Jen family as well. He continued to ridicule Jen Suifeng. I am in awe of the Sword Marquis Abode's 13 Sword Elders' fame shaking the empire. But you're the only eyesore among them, not worth a dime. You, Jen Suifeng clenched his fists and shouted, Tianyang, let's go. But, 8th Elder, even if you decide not to save Ninga, you should still fight for the honor of our Jen Hufu clan. If we leave like this, be quiet. Can't you see that they are provoking us on purpose? This is Yuming Valley's territory. If we fight here, it doesn't matter if we win or lose, we will always have the disadvantage. Tianyang, remember this. The 7th Elder of the Yuming Valley is incredibly devious and cunning. If you ever meet him again, you must muster your wits. I know that. I already know all of that. However, if I don't save Ninga today, deep down in my heart, I know that I will regret it for the rest of my life. You truly are young and naive. You haven't experienced the horrors of the world yet. If the little prince from Jen Hufu is that interested in heroes saving maidens, then I will give you another chance to prove yourself. Look here, if you can save her entire family, she is sure to be even more grateful to you. Grandfather, dad, brother. Xueningsiang wailed and glared at Yugichi. 7th Elder, what are you doing? Acting my role as a villain. Yugichi then sent a grin towards Xie Tianyang. How will the young master play the hero otherwise? He then twisted his face and howled, attack. The bone-tempering experts took out hooks and clawed them into the Shui clan's members. Blood fell like rain and their howls rang in the air. They even found the strength to shout their lungs out when the hooks came out of their bodies. Not even Xue Dingtian, who was a profound heaven expert, was eased from this suffering. Xueningsiang was crying her heart out and yelled, Yugichi, stop or I will kill myself. Chem. Really? If you dare to do it, I will kill them all. Yugichi roared in return. Xueningsiang was rooted to the spot, powerless to alleviate the painful cries of her family. Her knees softened and she collapsed, as did her mind. Little girl, aren't you overestimating yourself here? Who do you think my master is? He is known as the #1 Sade, the one who is quick-witted at all times. Within the 7 noble families, just how many people do you think lost by the hands of my master? Who are you to try to win against him? Even though you have an advantage, it's a pity you can't make use of it because you are so pure. I'll be honest with you, this only happened because you angered him. Don't you forget this, your trump card is also in the palm of his hand. Despair and agony. She sacrificed herself to save her clan, but she was far from being able to win against this cunning fox. It instead earned his ire and now he was venting it all on her clan. It's all my fault. He isn't wrong. If only I didn't run away from home. If I never met Brother Zhuo and Brother Tianyang. And if I never confronted the 7th Elder. If that is the case, wouldn't things had just stayed the same, and everybody would have lived happily if I hadn't been there? She blamed herself for everything. Everybody, look. What's that in the sky? It's that guy. He came. Xie Tianyang looked around with hope. Xue Ningxiang shivered and her eyes began to regain clarity. She muttered, looking at the thunder ring, "Big brother Zhuo. Hey, we meet again, seventh elder. Last time, I lost. However, the next round starts now. Haha. Using equipment that lets you fly? Looks like you didn't die either. On top of that, you broke through into the bone forging realm as well." He had to use equipment which allows him to fly so that he could get here quickly. Clearly he's just a little brat that has just broken through to the bone forging realm. But why does the aura that he gives out causes me, someone from the heavenly realm, to feel like I'm under a lot of pressure? Who is he? He's the least trustworthy. He's my friend. And also the most trustworthy friend that I have. A person who was graded this highly by Tian Yang. I must pay close attention to see just what kind of person he is. Humph. This aura is just a mere bluff. However, judging from the terrifying speed at which he is cultivating at, this kid really is a freak. I simply can't let him stay in this world anymore. Minga, go and take care of him for me. So it's you, her? That's fine too. I was feeling quite annoyed that you managed to get away last time. The two of us should settle our grudges this time once and for all. Minga, you two know each other. Just as I expected, high-quality teachers produce high-quality trainees. Today, I have witnessed just how effectively a disciple of Yu Ming Valley managed to save the day. You cowardly sack of shit. Even though I'm covering for you, you've still ended up being scared silly. You disgrace. He's only just reached the bone forging realm. You have already cultivated to the second stage of the bone forging realm. What's there to be afraid of? Stumbling to his feet, Yu Ming took a short glance at Shuofan. But Shuofan's wicked grin seemed to spell death, and so he threw himself at Yu Gichi's feet with a wail. Master, his Shuofan, the butler from the Luo family. Both Elder Yun and Elder Jian were done in by him. What? So this brat is the butler of the Luo family. No wonder Minga was so scared when he met him. It looks like Minga was so traumatized that he developed a fear of him. Shuofan not only knows Tier 5 formations, but he is also extremely cunning. Even a person like me almost fell for this kid's trap. It's no wonder that Elder Yun and Elder Jian were killed by him. If I want to get rid of my disciple's fear of him, I need to have him cut down Zhuofan with his own hands. Yu Gichi sighed and patted Yu Ming's shoulder. Come, my men, whoever is willing to capture him for me will be rewarded handsomely. Master, let me do it. A large man cupped his hands. He was in the 6th layer of the bone tempering stage. Dealing with an early bone tempering cultivator was easy pickings. The other guards were sad that they missed such a chance. Zhuofan was an easy contribution that just flew away. Minga, watch carefully. Only his formations are impressive. In a case where he can't set them up, there's nothing special about him. Just wait a moment, and when that guard captures him, you may cut him down with your own hands. That way, you will no longer be scared. The 7th elder truly is very intelligent. He was able to think of a way to remove his disciple's fear in such a short amount of time. Tian Yang, your friend over there is in danger. Judging by how cool and collected his composure is, there will be no problem at all. The large man thundered towards Shuofan with a cackle. Hey, you really are a present given to me by God. By capturing a little brat like you, I would be doing a great service to the 7th elder. You'll be helping me a lot. People are willing to die for wealth just as birds are willing to die for food. If you really want to die, I'm happy to oblige. I will only use one punch to silence you for eternity. Even though death is knocking at your door, you still have quite the big mouth. The large man's punch was as fast as the wind and as strong as a mountain. Xie Tianyang's smile was gone, now replaced with shock that Shuofan wasn't even able to dodge. He was able to contend equally with me when he was a qi condensation cultivator, so why didn't he move? Xue Ningxiang's face fell. Big brother Zhuo. A wail pierced the noise of the crowd, and the large man was seen clutching his hand as he stumbled back. His hand was now a twisted and broken mess. Before he could react, his chest was then punched through by Zhuofan's fist. It all seemed so easy, as if he punched through paper. The people watched in abject horror the bulging eyes of the man, his vacant expression. Is that all you've got, you monster? It first began as a whisper, but this word grated everyone's ears and they all agreed to this adequate assessment. Fear was painted vividly on their faces. Zhuofan was suddenly caught off guard by a white and black pair of chains as they coiled around him. You didn't expect this now, did you, you little brat? I already predicted that you would show up here, so I prepared a gift specially just for you. This is bad. He was bound by the 4th demonic treasure. Even if he manages to endure it for one day, he's still done for. Jian Suifeng sighed. I never thought that the seventh elder would be so shameless. Despite being a master of the heavenly realm, he still made a sneak attack against a novice who's in the bone-forging realm while everybody is watching. Seventh elder, if you use such an underhanded tactic against a novice like me right from the start, won't you be dirtying the prestige of the Yuming Valley? You are quite smart to know exactly what I am thinking right now. In the entire Tianyu Empire, there are only a few people who can do that. This brat is quite extraordinary. I really can't afford to get ahead of myself. Haha, I, Zhuofan, am very impressed by how cautious and calculating the seventh elder is. Either way, this time around, I didn't plan any underhanded tricks and traps. I only want to score a decisive victory against you. I would never have expected that you would still be so careful. Reading between the lines, he knew Zhuofan mocked him for his yellow-bellied attitude. Even he had his limits, especially when humiliated in front of such a crowd by a bone-tempering junior. You brat, you still dare to be so impudent. I will destroy you to the point that your corpse can't be found. Am I wrong? Based on your personality, you believe the sooner your enemies are eradicated the better it is. However, when I came here, not only were you slow to make your move, you also sent your disciple to attack me to test the waters. However, that kid was so traumatized by me that he wouldn't even obey your orders. So you could only use the excuse of getting rid of your disciple's fear to send that idiot over to his demise. If he won, then all is well. But if he lost, you could take advantage of my moment of unawareness to catch me off guard and capture me. Just like what happened right now. Zhuofan enlightened everyone, and even Jian Suifeng was startled so much that his fear for Yu Giqi grew. Just as I thought, the seventh elder is very devious. In such a short time, he was able to come up with such an elaborate plan. He truly is frightening. Even when fighting against someone inferior to him, he still considers all possibilities to produce a foolproof plan. How unnerving. He truly lives up to his name as the sage who is quick-witted at all counts. However, he was able to see through the seventh elder's scheme at one glance. This person is very shrewd as well. I would go as far as to say he's almost, if not already on par with the seventh elder. So what if you managed to see through my plan? In the end, weren't you still caught by my trap? As long as you are in my grasp, you will be broken into 10,000 pieces, and when I'm done with you, there will be nothing left to bury. You were so clever before. How did you suddenly become so dumb? If I was able to see through your trick, did you really think I would be caught so easily? Zhuofan's eyes gleamed and lightning cracked. Bam! Yu Giqi couldn't even react before the chains were thrown away. Zhuofan now sported a pair of 10-meter-long wings streaked by flashing lightning, the sixth flying demonic treasure. So it turns out the equipment earlier wasn't just a one-time use flying equipment. Just what kind of background did a no-name novice like you come from? It looks like earlier I was still thinking too lowly of you. With a flying demonic treasure, your speed will indeed be on par with a master of the heavenly realm. However, the points where a master of the heavenly realm is superior to someone from the bone-forging realm is not only in speed. Of course I know this. Something else that makes people from the heavenly realm feared would be their dexterity. This is something that no flying demonic treasure can ever possibly make up for. But then, the chains were about to strike Zhuofan, one aiming his head and the other his chest. Whoosh! The pair of wings moved like independent arms and swatted the chains away. What? How is this possible? Yu Giqi and Jian Suifeng jerked in shock. Demonic treasures aren't living creatures. How did it change shape at his will? Who said that it was a demonic treasure? While demonic treasures were refined as tools, Zhuofan refined the wings into his body. In other words, they were part of his body. He could let them out at will and make them move as he wished. He was no longer your average human being, but a human weapon. If the wings were a 6th-grade demonic treasure, then his body had become a 5th-grade demonic treasure refined through the method of diamond sand tempering. This wasn't something Yu Giqi and the rest could fathom when not even the denizens of Sacred Domain couldn't. You little brat. You damned monster. Even the calm Yu Giqi had to curse through gritted teeth. His eyes were bloodshot and his hands were poised to strike. The two chains flitted everywhere and soon became 2, then 4, then 8. Numerous chains approached from every angle like a rain of death, all aiming for Zhuofan. So this is the dexterity of a master of the heavenly realm? Only the sounds of cracking lightning and grating metal were heard, while not even a trace of the chains nor the wings was seen. The metallic and lightning sounds came to an abrupt stop. Zhuofan's expression was one of focus as he halted his wings while Yu Giqi was nowhere in sight. A sound broke the silence and Zhuofan's heart seized. He instinctively bent his wings. His wings blocked the sneak attack of the chains from behind, but a cold needle was speeding at his back. It was Yugichi with his third-grade demonic treasure, Twisted Needle. "Haha, you little brat." Yugichi snickered. "Let's see what tricks you have left up your sleeves." But Zhuofan only muttered, "Lost phantom step." He vanished from his place and the chains along with the Twisted Needle lost their target, throwing Yugichi off balance. An after-image. Then Zhuofan came from behind, using his wings as axes aiming for Yugichi's neck. Seventh Elder. How does it feel to have someone surprise you from behind? If I had one of the 3 demonic treasures and stabbed you right now, you'd die instantly. But even though you've been given this chance, I'm still alive. Yugichi's face flushed and was gasping heavily to ease the rage within him. Zhuofan's words were an affront to his title. Don't get too full of yourself. Yugichi's anger reached a breaking point. His yuan qi exploded, flinging Zhuofan's wings aside. Yugichi was at peak speed and with the added effect of the yin-yang chains, he reached a new height. "I'll kill you." Zhuofan remained calm as he laughed. His figure darted around with the help of mystifying phantom step and his wings, moving even faster than Yugichi. Using the same move again. Is running and hiding all you can do? What's with the rush? Isn't the fun part just getting started? The flickering lightning was proof enough for everyone to know of the bitter fight the two were in. This gave a shock to the audience and let them know how weak they were against a profound heaven expert. But Zhuofan was the one who agitated them the most. A bone-tempering cultivator had such power. Xie Tianyang watched numbly with incredulous eyes at how deep the gap between them was. Even more so when Zhuofan of yesterday was a far cry from today. What is this speed? I can't follow their movements at all. Eighth Elder, what's happening right now? Tianyang, this friend of yours is truly frightening. In my entire lifetime, I've never seen, Seventh, as powerful as he is, get pushed to this extent. It's clear that he's already forced to use his full power. Yet your friend is able to match him with ease using only his speed. But your friend isn't using his speed only to deal with Seventh. Rather, while battling with Seventh, he's also taking out his underlings, right in the face of Seventh. But why? Haha, the reason is exactly what makes your friend frightening. He's doing it to mock and attack that old devil's pride. Seventh is known for being extremely cunning and skilled, but today he's like a mouse being toyed with by a cat, playing right into the hands of a kid from the bone-forging realm. What pride can he have when he can't do anything at all against his opponent? And what's even more frightening, Zhuofan and Seventh have similar personalities. Provoking someone like them is no laughing matter. Not only will they take their revenge by killing you, they'll strip you of everything that's of importance to you. They'll send you to the grave without any of your honor or dignity left. Seventh Elder. So this is all a master of the heavenly realm is able to do, huh? This is bad. This brat's strength, judging from the exchange we had just now, has already completely surpassed mine. What's even more notable is that this kid's cleverness is on par with my own. This is the first time I've ever run into an opponent like this. Haha, seems like you really do reap what you sow. Seventh Elder, you've done many evil acts throughout your whole life, and today, another little devil is tormenting you to the same extent you tormented others. This truly is a satisfying sight for everybody watching, haha. No, I can't let it drag on like this. If this keeps up, I will only be toyed to death by this brat. I need finish this with one move, even though I don't know if this will work on him or not. Right now, I simply have no other choice. It's all or nothing. Don't waste your energy. This stupid move won't work on me anymore. But the yin-yang chains veered off from him. At the last minute, aiming for Xueningsiang. Xueningsiang was rooted in fear, but Zhuofan appeared before her in a flash of lightning and flung the chains with his wings. Haha, I see now. I see how it is. My dear little Zhuofan, I've finally found your weakness. Earlier, when we were still at the Wanshou mountain range, your ruthless and selfish nature truly frightened me. So when you came here today, Brother Zhuo, I kept thinking that you were here to exact revenge on me. But only now did I figure out that you were here for her sake. That may be the case, but how will that change the result of what will happen here today? No matter what, you are going to die. If you were as ruthless as you were on that day, I would still be somewhat afraid of you. But now, you've grown soft because of this little girl. So instead, victory is already within my grasp. Haha, arcane arts. Yugichi jumped in the air and performed a double hand sign. Demonic mask seal. A demonic face appeared, twisted in malice and pain. Not good. This is the arcane arts of the Yuming Valley, demonic mask seal. The demonic mask seal is different from normal techniques since it targets the opponent's life force. It can't be blocked. Almost all cultivators below the godly realm will have trouble with the demonic mask seal. If the attack hits, at the very least it will knock the target unconscious, and at most, it will completely annihilate the target's body and soul. You little brat, if you dare to dodge this demonic mask seal will fall upon that little girl. I bet that there is no way you can run away fast enough from my demonic mask while carrying another person. Brother Zhuo, don't worry about me, you have to dodge this. As long as you save my family, even if I die, I will still be grateful to you. She's mine, and as long as I'm here, you will not be able to harm her. Fine by me. Then you will be the one who will be harmed. Yugichi pointed and the demonic face wailed on its way towards Zhuofan. Brother Zhuo. Xue Ningxiang was nervous and was about to jump in front, but Zhuofan stopped her with his wing. The demonic face smashed on Zhuofan and thousands of grey tendrils of energy wrapped around him. The cries of lamentation, similar to that of a being starved for centuries and finally finding food, were heard all around. Eighth Elder. Xie Tianyang turned towards Jian Suifeng in anxiety, but the latter only sighed. He, you little brat, this is the consequence of your lust. That's why the path of the demons is merciless. Because you grew compassionate, it became your own undoing. Little girl, this kid was done in because of you. Big brother Zhuo. Xue Ningxiang couldn't hold back her tears. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Xue Ningxiang sobbed. Heh, you silly girl. Don't cry in front of that old geezer. The more you suffer, the happier he becomes. Suddenly, Zhuofan's voice came from within the ball of grey tendrils. The crowd was shocked. Impossible. Your very life essence should have been devoured until nothing is left. To think that you can kill me with such an insignificant skill, isn't that just being way too naive? Sage who is quick-witted on all counts, the amalgamation of heaven and hell. Zhuofan muttered, demon transformation art. The grey energy wailed as they were devoured by the azure flame. And Zhuofan felt his soul growing stronger as result. Demon transformation art was originally used to absorb everything to promote one's cultivation. The reason he couldn't absorb souls so far was because his own wasn't strong enough. It would only be a detriment if the result would have harmed him instead. But since he refined his soul, it grew in power, akin to radiant stage cultivator's level. And having the strange azure flame as a protector, this measly amount of vengeful ghosts were nothing more than a snack after the flame removed the waste. If you don't have anything else up your sleeve, and this is the extent of your abilities, I'm going to get serious now. Get serious. He. Quit boasting. Are you telling me that you weren't using all your strength this whole time? Seventh Elder, I don't know whether or not you still remember the words you said to me at the All-Beast mountain range a few months ago. When faced with absolute power, no matter what tricks or schemes you come up with, it will all be futile. Today, I am going to say those exact same words to you as well. One move. Grinning, Zhuofan pointed at the sky. I only need to use one move, and I will have your head. Yugichi could no longer take it and snapped. Bullshit. This brat. Since the moment he showed up, everything that he did was to have me also experience what it is like to face absolute power. All my knowledge is just a mere joke. Even if I use all my wits, I'm unable to do half as much as him. To make me, the sage who is quick-witted on all counts, feel completely helpless. The reason he came here today was for revenge. Saving Xue Ning just happened to be convenient. He came here mainly for revenge, to beat me at scheming, my biggest strength. To make it so that I can't even rest in peace. What a frightening little devil. Compared to the Seventh Elder, he is much more evil. I'm afraid this kid will become someone more terrifying than the Seventh Elder. He is even more terrifying than Zhuge Changfeng in the future. Seventh Elder, prepare yourself. You're going to experience absolute power. He shot for Yugichi like a rocket. Yugichi attacked with his yin-yang chains, but with a flap of his wings, Zhuofan slipped right past them. You still haven't realized. The same trick won't work on me anymore. You fell for it. I have a third yin-yang Gemini. Haha. You never expected this, right? Even if that's the case, so what? Before my absolute power, all of your tricks are meaningless, which includes your final, last-ditch effort. Zhuofan's eyes flashed and a golden light flew from his body. It was the Blood Infant after being refined with diamond sand. The Blood Infant, which was comparable to a 5th-grade demonic treasure, charged at the black and white chain. Yugichi was shocked to find that the golden light, which passed by his ear, had taken away not only the chain but also his arm. He had no time to feel the loss of his arm when Zhuofan's punch was right at his face. You little devil. Do you really think you can kill me? Even if I must die here, I won't let myself be killed in just one move. Even if I'm going to die, it can't be in one move. I just need to block that one punch, or else, I really won't be able to. Rest in peace. The fist bore into Yugichi's chest. The onlookers raised their heads in shock. Xie Tianyang was in denial of what he witnessed. Even Jian Suifeng was swept by fear as he gazed upon the youth hovering in the sky. What kind of fucking freak are you? Blood flew from Yugichi's mouth. My body is as strong as the 5th demonic treasure. Your 3rd demonic treasure won't even scratch me. As for why I became like this. Roaring, Zhuofan threw his fist and flung Yugichi into the ground, smashing a few buildings. Yugichi's head sagged and breathed his last. His eyes were wide open, never to find peace. Isn't that thanks to you? Zhuofan spread his wings among the clouds and hovered like a god towering above the ants. One move. It really only took one move and the top sage of Yuming Valley who struck fear into almost every single family. The sage who is quick-witted on all counts, the 7th elder was killed. What a terrifying monster. Hurry up and run, you monster. He suddenly swooped down, alarming the people into scattering. That Yuming guy really is an expert at running away. He managed to get away from me once again. He went by Xueningsiang and held her. Xueningsiang let out a short cry before being carried into the clouds. They both then disappeared in a lightning flash. Hey, Zhuofan, what are you doing? Where are you taking Ninga? In another area, Jian Suifeng was looking down on Yugichi's corpse, the enemy who robbed him of his 3 fingers. He recalled Yugichi's wretched death and his mood livened. Hey, 7th elder, you were regarded as one of the top figures in the Tianyu kingdom. Who would have expected that you would meet your end like this? It truly is quite lamentable. That bastard Zhuofan, just killing the 7th elder would have been enough. Why would you also take Ninga away? Tianyang, go bring them down from there. We will take them back to Jian Hufu immediately for medical treatment. From now on, the Shui family will be a subsidiary family of the Jian Hufu. That's what I was thinking as well. 8th elder, who knew that we would have the same train of thought. It's only natural that I would risk myself to save them. Humph, who the hell would have the same train of thought as a brat like you? You also saw how strong that little freak was just now. Who knows how strong he will become in the future? Because he came here to save these people. We might as well do him a favor. That way, later on it will be easier for us to make friends with him. However, if we are ever to become enemies, we can also take them as hostages to defeat that kid. Xie Tianyang only smiled wryly at his elder's reasoning. So we aren't saving the Shui family for my sake. Instead, we are saving them for the sake of that bastard Zhuofan? Just who do you think the core disciple of the Zhou Hufu is? If Ninga ever finds out about this, how could I ever show her my face again? That cursed Zhuofan, why? Yu Ming cursed Zhuofan to high heavens. But when Zhuofan's cold face resurfaced in his mind, shivers reeked his body. This is the 3rd time. What did I ever do to you? Everywhere I go, you come killing. That blasted monster. Last time, he killed 2 elders. This time he even killed my master. In a clearing outside Blue Expanse City, lightning sparked, revealing Xueningsiang and Zhuofan landing. Earlier, we had this agreement. If you became my guide, I would bring you out of the city. Now, I just fulfilled my part of the promise. So this is the outside of the city. I've lived for so long, yet this is my first time out here. Thank you, Brother Zhuo. I've finally left the city. No problem. This was our agreement after all. Ninga, maybe now it's time for us to say goodbye as well. You're leaving? Where are you going? I don't know, however, there are still a lot of things I need to do. The most pressing matters were finding the Lightning Canyon, Heavenly Emperor's remnant, and searching for experts to strengthen the Luo clan. Despite having no clue where to start on any of them, he had to keep looking. Brother Zhuo, then, can you take me with you? No. Judging from your current strength, coming with me will be very dangerous. You silly little kid, you still have a family to take care of. Thankfully, Tianyang is pretty high up on the Jian Hufu hierarchy, so he's quite influential. The Shui family just defended Yuming Valley, so they need a powerful backer right now. If he speaks up for your family and you take refuge under Jian Hufui, there will be no problems at all. Xueningsiang raised her head then nodded. Zhuofan ruffled her head one last time and left with a smile. I will take my leave now. Brother Zhu, when will we meet again? The moment the thunder ring shines again. is the moment we will meet again. A month later, in the Emperor's gardens of the imperial capital. Father Emperor, we have a problem. We have a big problem. Tsonga, didn't I already tell you? You need to approach problems with a cool head. Moreover, don't you see that I am playing a game with the Minister of War? Understood, the young prince understands his mistake. Then go ahead and speak. What happened? I am here to inform you, Father Emperor, that we have a big problem. The seventh elder of Yuming Valley was killed 1 month ago. Who did it? It's the butler from the Luo family who I mentioned before, Shuofan. 1 month ago, we don't know what got into him, but he killed the seventh elder while the entirety of Yuming Valley was watching him. On top of that, 2 Yuming Valley elders who were killed at Fenlin City, they were also killed by him. Qianlong Ji was simply just a scapegoat. What? That little devil killed 3 elders of Yuming Valley, one of which was their treasured 7th elder. He sure has guts. Your Majesty, how should we deal with this matter? If this were a grudge between the 7 noble families, things would have been a little more complicated. However, regarding this matter, Yuanshan is too embarrassed to come and complain about what happened. We'll just let them be. However, as for your men in the Luo family area, instruct them to never lay a finger on the Luo family. My little pearl over here is about to reveal its splendor. Yuan Song looked long at the emperor, then bowed and left. Prime Minister's residence in the imperial capital. Zhuge Changfeng flashed his eyes open in shock, then sighed. The 7th elder is dead. Humph, it seems like the balance between the 7 families has been offset. I should make every effort to prepare myself. After all, you are my opponent, Your Majesty. High Priest's residence in imperial capital. A white-haired elder was reading through some information delivered by one of his men. As he read through, a frown appeared on his forehead and he signaled his men to withdraw. Jisai Fu capital. With shaking steps deigning his old appearance, the elder walked into the observatory and looked up towards the sea of stars. The star of war is near and turmoil is on our doorsteps. Just a single spark will start the entire blaze. It looks like the owner of this world is about to change. Hopefully this won't plunge everybody into misery and suffering. Veiled Dragon Pavilion's headquarters. Recently, both Little Jie and Little Kuei have been doing pretty well. I think we should send them over to Big Elder to strengthen their cultivation further. Then they can start to cultivate our family's secret martial arts. Indeed, these 2 improved by quite a bit. However, compared to the genius disciples of the other 6 families, they can only be considered above average. What? 3rd elder, don't think too lowly of us. We've almost broken into the bone forging realm already. The 3rd elder is correct. I heard Tian Yang from Jian Hufu was already a bone forging realm master 3 years ago. Compared to them, we are very far behind. Even though little Jie is rather arrogant right now, she will certainly have many accomplishments of her own in the future. As long as the 2 of you little devils have half the talent of that brother Zhuo, you will be able to cultivate the secret martial arts of our Qianlong Ji family. Humph, 9th uncle, why did you bring him up again? That brat is so full of himself. He wouldn't even join the Qianlong Ji family. Even if he is a little talented, he won't be able to do anything in the future, and we will be able to surpass him. A man suddenly barged in while shouting, reporting in. You have an urgent report. Master. 3rd elder waved him away after taking the report and read it. Is something wrong, 3rd brother? What happened? 9th elder, take a look for yourself. Never having seen 3rd elder so spooked. But the contents left his soul in tears. My good brother, I owe you one more favor now. The 7th elder of the Yuming Valley was killed by Zhuofan in Qingming City. What? Everyone was dumbstruck. Haha, well done. Looks like the family head's judgment was correct. That kid truly is a giant among men. Pass along my orders. Immediately increase our aid to the Luo family. At the same time, send more men to protect them as well. Are we all in agreement? It was a unanimous decision. Not even the elders who were against Long Yifi proposing an alliance with Zhuofan showed any complaint. After all, none of them here could do what Zhuofan did, sending that Yugichi to his grave. Good kid. After this war is over, the name Zhuofan will be known throughout the land. Yuming Valley. Yuming. So what you're saying is that the 3 elders from our Yuming Valley were all killed by that brat? This disciple wouldn't dare to trick the head of the valley. Elder Jian, Elder Yun, as well as my master, the 7th elder. They all fell by the hands of that butler of the Luo family, Zhuofan. You piece of shit. Why didn't you report it sooner? If you already knew those elders were killed by that kid. Valley head, spare me. It's not that I refuse to admit my guilt. I couldn't report it since Master didn't let me. My master said that this matter was way too strange. Even if I did report it, no one would believe it, so I might as well not report it at all. Once we find our chance, we'll just take down Zhuofan. However, who would have known that before Master was able to make his move, Zhuofan would come attack us? In the end, Valley Head, even though Yu Ming is at fault, he had no other choice. You can't blame him. Now, the first thing we need to do is think about how we should solve this problem. Right now, all of the noble families of the Tianyu Empire have their eyes on us. If we let that brat get away with this, how will everybody react to this? We will end up as the laughingstock of the entire empire. All of our small subsidiary families will leave us as well. What Big Elder says makes sense. How could we possibly let that brat live after this? Isn't he the butler of the Luo family? We'll just go directly to the Luo family and make them pay. Head of the valley, you can't do that. Second Elder, what do you mean? Are you telling me that even if someone smacks us across our face and kills our people, we can't demand reparations? How would we at the Yuming Valley be able to retain our dignity then? I know that the Valley Head is angry, and I am not stopping the Valley Head from demanding reparations. It's just that. Doesn't the Valley Head remember? Around 1 year ago, the Emperor gave an order to us over at the 7th family. We are not to step 1 foot into Fenglin City. If we are to disobey that order now, it will become the pretext of an opportunity for the higher-ups to target us. What the Second Elder is saying makes sense. Now is not the time for us to go against the royal family. Also, according to our sources, both the Imperial and the Qianlong masters are in Fenglin City right now. I'm afraid that if we go there, they will team up against us. We can't do this, we can't do that. Then you tell me, what should we do? If the 7th Elder were here, do you think it would have been this complicated? That stupid brat. He just had to kill my most important strategist. Just wait until I catch you. I will skin you alive. Valley Head, forgive your disciple for interrupting, but I have a plan. Humph, you have no place in a meeting of the elders. Get out. Calm down, Valley Head. This kid was still a follower of the 7th Elder. It's probably worth listening to what idea he came up with. Valley Head, according to your disciple's humble opinion, we can leave the Luo family alone. The Luo family's rise to power was all due to Zhuofan's strength. As long as we can take down Zhuofan, we will no longer need to fear the Luo family. Yu Wanshan's eyes flickered. Keep going. Yes sir, even though we can't go near Fenglin City, Zhuofan isn't in that area. As a result, we don't have to worry about the city at all. All we have to do is concentrate on taking down Zhuofan. Then how do you plan to find that brat? Yu Wanshan questioned. Issue a Yuming kill order. Make it so that he will have nowhere to run to in this empire. We know where he will try to run to. Once the time comes, we will ambush and kill him right before he enters Fenglin City. Yu Wanshan cackled. Haha good. That is exactly what we will do. Come men. Issue a kill order throughout the entire empire under the name of our family, Yuming Valley. Anybody who can provide us clues will be allowed to join the Yuming Valley as a subsidiary family. Anybody who can bring me his head will immediately become the #1 subsidiary family of Yuming Valley. Under one family, 10,000 families will follow. Yu Wanshan's sinister laughter echoed, to which Yu Ming followed up with a vile smile. Zhuofan, you freak. Even though I can't bring myself to face you head on. But now, you are about to be pursued by the entire empire. Let's see if you can survive this. Heh. Grand Elder smiled. Just as I thought, this kid still wants revenge. But that's not a problem. After all, Zhuofan is the enemy of the entire Yuming Valley. However, Valley Head, if Zhuofan was able to kill the 7th Elder, then even if you do issue a kill order, those small families might not be able to deal with him. From the way I see it, we have to be the ones to end him once and for all. Judging from Ming Er's description of his strength, he is probably a demonic power cultivator. The only ones who are a match for him would be the top 5 elders within our valley. One person who comes to mind is 5th Elder. He used the red demonic fire to cultivate his body. His Jin Gang is unbreakable. He is definitely a perfect match for him. Don't ask me to do this. I'm about to participate in the Baidan meeting at the Flower Rain Tower. I don't have the time to go off and hunt that little bastard. Humph, what's so interesting about a meeting with a whole bunch of women cultivating? Is it more important than taking revenge for your family? Valley Head, don't speak that way. Even though the Flower Rain Tower is full of women, They are one of the 7 noble families, so they are still quite prestigious. Since they invited the 5th elder, it's probably because they are interested in his red demonic fire. They might want to cultivate a few new types of pills. A whole bunch of women actually managed to take a spot among the 7 noble families. There will be a day where I will take over their territory. I want to let Valley Head, this kid Yuming, join us and take part in our meeting of the elders in place of the 7th elder. All right, take this kid under your wing and develop him. He is now the successor of the 7th elder. Thank you, Valley Head. Thank you, Great Elder. Black Wind Mountain, the mountain behind the Luo residence. Captain Pang was cultivating by sitting on 36 blades. His body was riddled with scars. While cultivating, black tendrils of energy would leave his body, drift around the blades, and return back to him. Cracking his eyelids, Captain Pang stood up with a smirk. Your stealth technique is becoming more and more impressive. Even though you were right in front of me, I still wasn't able to detect you. Miss Xue, just what kind of evil technique are you cultivating? It's only been a year, yet you've already broken into the bone forging realm by cultivating the demonic technique. You would have so many geniuses jealous. Brother Zhu's technique is amazing. By the way, out of the 20 kids you sent over, only one barely managed to pass. Help me find more. Out of the 20 cultivators, only one is alive and you're still looking for more. It's already a pretty high turnover. In the past there were 50 cultivators and none of them survived. But for the Luo family, it's all worth it. You cultivate and your brother also worked hard. Look at what he's done. He killed the 7th elder of the Yuming Valley. Now Yuming Valley has issued a hit out for him. Haha. Brother Zhu is a worthy man, capable of great deeds. He's amazing wherever he goes. Miss Lei, you need not be worried. With Brother Zhu's skills the assassins of Yuming Valley won't be able to hurt him. Heh. Who the hell is worried about him? Lei Yuting muttered through gnashed teeth. He messed with Yuming Valley for a girl. Since when has he been so righteous? Ah, so that's why you're here. In fact, sometimes, Brother Zhu is a man who can't help but fight injustice. That asshole fighting injustice? You think I don't know him? Sighing, Lei Yuting turned into a shadow and vanished. Captain Pang shouted the next moment, don't tell Miss about this, especially the latter part. Captain Pang sighed, women. Achoo. Who's talking about me behind my back? He suddenly flexed his legs and jumped, with the wings behind him flashing with lightning. Devil's first technique. Demonic Dragon Rush. The rock crumbled like a stack of cards. Devil's second technique. Ghost Dragon Claw. Devil's third technique. Phantom Ghost Giant. The sound was eerie, akin to a demon. Zhuo Fan's wail even made ripples through the air as it swept the flock of birds. The birds froze mid-air, their eyes blanked, and fell dead. One look would spot thousands of dead birds. I thought after refining my body and spirit, not only would my Yuan energy be greatly strengthened but even with the help of the blue flame, I didn't expect that I would exhaust all my energy by using these 3 techniques. Since I killed the 7th elder, I'm sure they will plan to avenge him. The enemies I'll face in the future are surely going to be even stronger, which is why I need to cultivate some life-saving martial arts. Unexpectedly. It's not the physical aspect that's holding me back, rather, it's my Yuan energy that's limited by my cultivation level. He was in the first layer of bone tempering stage and using profound ranked martial art almost exhausted his Yuan Qi. If that's the case, I shouldn't use these 3 techniques unless it's to save my life. Otherwise, even if I kill my enemy, I will probably die in the process. Zhuo Fan sighed and sat cross-legged to recover his Yuan Qi. His hand flashed and was now holding a large egg. He looked at the singed marks on the egg with worry. It's been over a month since I came here to cultivate. But this is just preservation. This egg was able to survive in the spirit ring with the help of the Thunder Skylark's aura. In order for it to hatch, its vitality must be restored. The usual medicines won't work. Only treasures that bring back the dead can help it hatch again. Just where can I find such a treasure? Songyu, hand over that body forging pill or else. A sudden shout interrupted Shuafan's musings. Assholes. Who dares to disturb my peace? If not, then don't blame us for what happens next. HMPH, in your dreams. This body forging pill is a treasure of the Song family. We need to take it to the pill festival. How could I just hand it to you? Blood forging pill? Pill festival? You've brought this upon yourselves. Songyu, Song Qian, haha. Both of you are at the bone forging realm at such a young age, isn't it thanks to this pill? But for a third-rate family such as yours, to have the secret recipe for a 4th-grade pill. It's really blasphemous. So you better hand it over. HMPH. We're not giving it to you. From just a single palm attack, both of them drew wide arcs in the air trailed by their blood. Hihi, Miss Song Chen, why go through this? Just hand over the pills and the recipe for it. Would you like me to search your bodies, at such an old age? The old man eyed Song Chen's enticing curves and let out lascivious laughter. Brother, are you scared? I'm not, sister. All right, let's die together. Whatever happens, our family's secret recipe must not fall into the hands of this old man. Just when it was about to slit their throats, the weapon fell off her hands. Who? Both the siblings and the old man shouted anxiously. It's just a 4th-grade pill. Zhuo Fan stepped out of the tree line. Why do you have to kill them? Haha, I was wondering who was being so brave. It turned out to be a little brat who had just broken through the bone-forging realm. Kid, you're a demonic cultivator, right? If we're talking about cruelty, aren't you guys the worst? You actually dare to talk to me about being merciful? I'm not talking about being merciful, I'm talking about strength. I'm planning to let them live, you can't kill them. Just you? Brother, run quickly, you're no match for him. Don't die in vain to save us. Run. It's too late to escape. Brat, if you need someone to blame, blame yourself for not minding your own business. Yet with a crisp sound. Zhuo Fan stood unfazed while the old man fell in a pool of blood, headless. The laughing old man was dead in an instant, and despite the others having smiles on their faces, their eyes were filled with terror. Monster! A scream echoed and the others ran for their lives. Zhuo Fan didn't care about them and turned to leave. Wait! Song Chen called. What is it? Her eyes were in shock of Zhuo Fan's immense strength despite similar cultivation levels. I don't know little brother's name, you saved our lives, the Song family will definitely repay you for this. Unnecessary. Saying so, Zhuo Fan started leaving. I'm considered a beauty in my family, what kind of man wouldn't fall for me? Yet, he's ignored me as if I was air, damn it. She skipped before Zhuo Fan and stopped him by raising her hand. What else do you want to say? This fool. Song Chen was cursing inside but showed an enticing smile on the outside. Little brother, where are you planning on going? It doesn't concern you. Zhuo Fan bypassed her with a snort. We are going to the 100 Pills Festival in Huayu City. Are you also going to the same place? Huayu City. Zhuo Fan paused. This is it. The 7th royal family, are they located in the main building of Huayu City? That's right. Every 10 years the Huayu House hosts the 100 Pills Festival. Every family that has a skilled alchemist or if they have inherited a secret alchemist technique they would compete against each other. If you're lucky enough to get noticed by the Huayu House, you would be accepted into its affiliated family and also receive blessings from the 7th family. 100 Pills Festival, they'll definitely have lots of rare herbs. That's where I'll probably find a treasure to revitalize the egg. After hearing about this from you, I want to go see this 100 Pills Festival. I can also be affiliated with the 7th royal family. The best way to fulfill my goals is. That's good to hear, let's go together. To blend in with the Song family and pretend to be one of them. Alright. After a long half a month, the carriage slowly approached a city's gates. Brother Luo Fan, sister, we're here. Finally. Zhuo Fan stepped out in a rush. This is not Huayu City. Are you trying to trick me? He cursed when he noticed the gate. Hee, Brother Luo Fan, don't worry. My father's friend stays in Lanling City. Let's visit the city first to buy some herbs. And then head to the 100 Pills Festival. Only then will we be able to win and get favored by the Huayu House. I have to continue my suffering. That Song Chen girl, I don't know if she's sick or if she's a nymphomaniac. She's been staring at me all throughout the journey, always laughing and blushing. It made it hard to concentrate on cultivation. Do you hate being with me? Brother Luo, I know what you're thinking about. It's the same here. I also want to hurry and get to the Huayu House. I've heard there are 15 landlords of the Huayu House, and that they're all very beautiful. Especially the head building's landlord, Miss Chu Qingchen, who's the most beautiful. Also known as the first heavenly beauty. She's a rare beauty just like my sister. But how could I give up the entire forest for just one tree, just for Miss Qingchen? Little you, what did you just say? Song Chen heard him and her glare sent him shivering. Sister, I'm sorry. Zhuo Fan just shook his head. These siblings are truly idiotic and perverted. I need to get away from them fast or I'll start getting dumber. Chenna. Their conversation was interrupted when they heard a shout. Song Chen stiffened, knowing who the person was. It came from a finely clothed young man, who looked casual and confident in his demeanor. He was around 20 years old and in the fourth layer of bone tempering stage. Song Qian, however, seemed not too eager in seeing him, giving an awkward greeting, "Brother Tianlei." His Qi Tianlei, the young master of the first-ranked Qi family in Lanling City. Our families have been friends for generations, however they're a second-rate family while we are a third-rate family. They always look down on us because of that. But Qi Tianlei always lusts after my sister. This Song family is pretty similar to the Luo family. If I wasn't with the Luo family, they'd still be a third-rate family. Similar families but very different fates. The Luo clan and Song clan were similar, but the former had the privilege of demonic emperor gracing them with his presence, elevating it to a first-rate clan. Qianna, who's he? Even as Qi Tianlei was caressing Song Qian's fair hand, he was always watching the other two. This is brother Luo Fan. He's a friend of ours. Anyway, Tianlei, how did you know we were here? I received a letter from Uncle Song and guessed when you would arrive. Hey, what's your relation with Qianna? Brother Qi, he's my friend. Qi Tianlei slapped Song Yu away. I wasn't talking to you. Tell me, what's your relationship with her? Throughout this journey, Qianna and I ate and slept together. We never go out of the wagon. What do you think our relationship is? Oh no. This will definitely piss him off. Damn it. Qi Tianlei's eyes were now bloodshot as he unleashed his power. I'm going to kill you. A sudden sound was heard and a ripple spread from Zhuofan's eyes. Ice-cold killing intent swept everyone's minds, freezing them. They were scared as rabbits, powerless to even resist it. Don't try to show off in front of me. I'll slaughter you. Qi of the heavenly, this killing intent. Qi Tianlei looked as if he was seeing a demon from hell, shivering all the while. As for his fury, it vanished into nothing. You are a heavenly profound realm expert. Qi Tianlei hit the ground with a thud and couldn't stop sweating, while the Song siblings stood shell-shocked. Leia. Suddenly, a figure landed before Qi Tianlei. Leia. What happened? Why are you like this? He checked the young master and became enraged finding him unconscious. Who did this? I'm sorry, uncle, it's my fault. Don't blame the others. Others? The newcomer whipped his head back and roared, his eyes flickering with flames of rage. But then he noticed Zhuofan and all of a sudden his anger diffused. Haha, it's Qianna. I was wondering why this brat suddenly took off to the city gates. Surely there's an honored guest with you. Let's leave all this as a misunderstanding. Follow me, let's go home. The journey must have been hard. I'll do my best to make you comfortable. You said the Qi family despised you. It seems like both of you were lying to me. No, he was Qi Ganglai, head of the Qi family. He has never been kind to us. I wonder what happened. It is like he's a different person. Qi Tianlei is his only son and is very protective of him. He's acting really strange. I can't believe he just let us go. There must be something going on. Yeah, it certainly does seem strange. Zhuofan scoffed. Don't speculate, he might have just been in a good mood. What else could it be? Thankfully he didn't care, or else it would have been bad for us. Because of him? Zhuofan sneered. Song Qian walked to him with quick steps then rolled her eyes. I know you're powerful but you're just in the bone-forging realm. How can you be a match for someone who's in the heavenly profound realm? If you piss him off even little you and I won't be able to protect you. Anyway, let's follow him. Qi family courtyard, 3 hours later. Since those two are catching up with the Qi family. Finally, I can cultivate in peace. 6 hours later, the door creaked open. Zhuofan sitting on his bed, saw the Song siblings tiptoeing inside. Brother Luo, the Qi family has set up a banquet for us and we would also like you to attend. The banquet is for you. I don't know them well enough to attend it. You must. Song Yu exclaimed. The more Zhuofan looked at them, the more he felt his suspicion grow. Don't misunderstand. This is the Qi family after all. Yes, exactly. It will be disgraceful for the Qi family if you don't attend the banquet hosted by them. Zhuofan stood up with a sneer and said, all right then, let's go. If our host's the one who's hosting the banquet, even if it's a family banquet we have to go. What's the hold-up? Lead the way. Arriving at the hall, they saw Qi Ganglai seated on the main seat with a smile while 9 other bone-tempering elders flanked his sides at a round table. Haha. You're here, take a seat. Are they trying to surround and attack me? Of course they are, it could not have been any more obvious. It's no trouble, they're a bunch of ants. Even if they attack together, they'll end up with casualties. I heard that little brother's name is Luo Fan from Qianna and her brother. Thanks to you they were able to get here safely. Come on, Let's have a toast for you. Qi Ganglai laughed as he drank. Wine is a kind of poison. I gave up drinking a long time ago. I advise Master Qi to drink less too, otherwise you might make bad decisions, mess with the wrong people and also end up ruining your entire family. This time, the people around the table eyed Shuo Fan viciously. What are you trying to say? Let's drop the act. You know who I am, otherwise you wouldn't have set up this banquet as a trap. 100 Bane Pill, refined from a 4th grade spiritual beast, the scarlet poisoned python's venom. Am I right? However, you don't know who you're messing with. Are you going to continue this charade? Shuo Fan, you have offended the Yuming Valley and Lord Yogu has issued a death warrant for you. The entire empire is hunting you down, so rather than let someone kill you, why don't I just kill you and claim the reward? All elders, get ready. At Qi Ganglia's order, the 9 elders pounced. Go. Where is he? The ridicule came from behind. Hehe. I'm here. They didn't even have time to turn as an elder's skull blew up in a spray of blood and gore. Shuo Fan dusted a piece off his hand as he jeered. The first. The elders were speechless from the show of strength Shuo Fan displayed. Looks like the rumors are true. You really are a monster. Now it makes sense how the 7th elder was killed by you. You're still gonna attack me even though you know how strong I am? Even Yuming Valley couldn't kill me, can you? The bigger the risk, the greater the reward. Qi Ganglai grinned as he charged with a crazed look. You're gonna regret this. What? Then a blood-curdling scream resounded as Qi Ganglia's hand was split open. Clan head. The elders cried out in panic. Who are you? Your body is so strong. Are you even human? It doesn't matter whether I am a human or not. He appeared before 3 elders and struck before they could react, burying his fist into their chests. Shuo Fan, I'm sorry that I've offended you. I was out of my mind. Please, for the sake of Chenna and little you, let us go. We won't mess with you again. Master Qi, I've been warning you since the beginning to think it through. But now that you've done it, you should face the consequences. As for those siblings, they have betrayed me. Why should I show them any mercy? Qi Ganlai, you're underestimating me. Should I deal with them first? Song Qian and Song Yu felt deep regret. Luo, no, Brother Zhuo, we were forced to do this. Please have mercy. Shut up. Zhuo Fan cut off Song Qian with his frosty tone. Now that it's happened, there's no need to explain. Zhuo Fan, you dare to kill us all? If we attack all together, we will fight you to the death. You can't get away with this. Alright, I look forward to it. How are you gonna do it? All elders attack him. Don't worry about me. Kill him. The remaining 5 elders jumped at Zhuo Fan in unison, each of them resigned to death, executing their best moves. Zhuo Fan knew they wanted to exchange their lives for his, but it mattered little. With a crackle, lightning flashed and his wings unfolded, flying around them. Can't even take a single hit. Haha. It was a distraction. Take this. Zhuo Fan discovered Qi Ganglai sporting a sly grin. He used the elders as bait in releasing his true killing move, this dagger. You think you can beat me with this lousy trick? Zhuo Fan sneered as he flew. Yet just then, a tender cry followed by a graceful figure came right before him. Watch out. Following a grunt, blood splattered. Stupid woman, you didn't have to do that. Sister. With a wail, Song Yu rushed to catch her weak body. We're sorry, we didn't mean to. We're weak, we don't have the power to deny them. You bitch. How dare you ruin my plan? You're dead. Zhuo Fan's wings flickered like swords. Are you ignoring me? I guess you were tired of living. The Qi clan experts were vanquished. I'll look at your wound now. It's poisoned. This must be the Qi family's secret poison. I'll get the antidote from their pharmacy. Sister, you must survive. Hey, wait up. Zhuo Fan gave a curt nod and steadied her by placing his palm on her back. That idiot. The poison can be forced out using Yuan energy. He didn't have to go to the pharmacy. Unlike you, my brother is hasty. Sit down, I'll help you deal with the poison. Thank you. What's happening? I can't find the source of the poison. Is she immune to poisons? No. I think it's a poison that can't be detected with Yuan energy. This Qi family poison is pretty strong. It seems that my Yuan energy can't force it out. I will have to use the stupidest method. The stupidest method? What do you mean? I'll have to suck the poison out myself. Alright, well then, go ahead. Song Qian understood from his hesitation and her pale face was tinted pink. Song Qian shuddered as she closed her eyes with a red face. Most of the poison should have been sucked out. It should be safe now. Thank you, Lord Shui. Strange. Poisonous blood usually tastes tangy. Why does Song Qian's blood taste normal even though it's a different color? Go get your brother and get out of here. How suspicious. Zhuo Fan's eyes flared with irritation. I can't control my body well. Could it be that I'm poisoned? Could it be? A black figure appeared and threw a large transparent bell over Zhuo Fan. 4th grade defensive weapon. Haha. Serves you right. This is my Qi family's 4th grade spirit weapon, the golden glazed bell. It's useful for defense and for capturing people. I've heard that you love women. Qi family's heavenly profound master. Chenna, you both did very well. Thanks for the compliment. Are you wondering how you got poisoned? The blade shot at Chenna never had any poison to begin with. It was coated with a drug to discolor blood. The real poison was on her shoulder where you sucked on. You killed my father. I'll tear you apart to avenge his death. I have met so many shameless people, however the Qi family is something else entirely. Qi Ganlai was just bait to lure me all along. You all expected him to die, yet you still blame me for his death. The truth is you just abandoned him. Having been exposed, Qi Tianlei was left speechless. So what? I can sacrifice both my son and grandson. If I get your head, then the Qi family will be the first family affiliated with Yuming Valley. Below only one family and above 10,000. With the number of elders in the future, the Qi family will only grow stronger. How can you compare a little loss with the future honor of the family? You are ruthless but too short-sighted. All this effort just to be a servant for the Yuming Valley. It's just plain stupid. If it were me, this much sacrifice should be to dominate the entire continent. You should stop dreaming. How can an ordinary person dominate the continent? Here, an ant's ambition. At such a young age, you're both accomplished and ambitious. If your head wasn't so valuable, I would have spared your life. Are you even qualified to kill me? What I told the 7th elder when I killed him, I think it's perfectly fine to repeat them to you now. In the face of absolute power, all tactics are useless. How is this possible? Even Godrealm masters have trouble with our family's ancestral divine devouring powder, and he just removed it. What's that on his forehead? Did it cure him of the poison? Don't worry, the brat is still trapped in my 4th grade weapon. He didn't get the chance to finish his flimsy reasoning as a dragon roar echoed and a black light ran through. Zhuo Fan killed him in an instant despite being trapped. Grandpa. Monster. Young master, run. We'll hold him off. Young master, you must live. You're our last hope. Song Qian cried in terror while fleeing. Qi Tianlei and Song Yu's knees softened, shivering all the while they ran alongside her. I never expected I'd be this strong after refining my body and using a profound stage martial skill. It's time to cultivate a stronger martial skill. Oh yeah, there are 3 more rats to take care of. I won't let them run away. I can't die. Black tendrils left Zhuo Fan and burrowed into Qi Tianlei. The Song siblings were close to having a mental breakdown witnessing such a gruesome murder. He then blocked their retreat. You were running pretty fast. Brother Zhuo, we were forced to do all of this. Our Song family is a small one. We can't afford to provoke the Qi family, and even more so for the Yuming Valley. If you bear a grudge against us, please kill me and let little you go. He's the only male left in our family. The same situation, the same family difficulties. You're exactly like them. Are you referring to the Luo family? That's right. You're so similar to them. It makes me not want to kill you. There is something different. Ah, that's it. You are both much smarter than them. It's time to leave. As the spring wind blows through the willow tree-filled shore, I drive a horse-drawn carriage in search of the mythical cure-all. I don't know the true intentions of my master, I only know I don't want to bear his scorn. I've finally arrived. Hopefully I'm able to find some medicines that have miraculous effects here. That way, I didn't disguise myself to come here in vain. Halt! A shout delayed him. Following the yell, 6 people appeared around him. The youth gave them a once-over and rose an eyebrow. Yuming Valley? Hey! You have pretty good eyes. You were actually able to figure us out. Judging from how you look, you are probably a noble family prince. Tell us your name. This is Flower Rain City, right? Even if I were to get interrogated, shouldn't it be done by people from Flower Rain Tower? How come? Cut the crap. Hurry up and answer honestly. Otherwise, don't blame us for showing no mercy. From the way you were stalling things out earlier, if this wasn't Flower Rain City territory, I would have already taken your life. I am Song Yu from the Song family of Night Rain City. By the order of my father, I am to attend the Baidan meeting of the Flower Rain Tower. This is our family seal. The leader looked over it and nodded. Meanwhile, his men rummaged through the carriage and they too nodded. All right, go ahead. Although, if you ever see this person, make sure to report it to us. Heh, they really are a group of low-class idiots. I was right under your noses, but you still weren't able to recognize me. Just where are you planning to go to catch me? He mocked as he rolled the kill order into a ball before throwing it away. Indeed, this youth was Zhuo Fan. He refined a little pill that turned him into Song Yu and resumed his way to Drifting Flowers City. Zhuo Fan's carriage creaked down the street before finally stopping in front of a tavern. Hey boss, do you have a room available? He's looking down on me. Are there any vacancies or not? Are you treating me as if I don't have any spirit stones to pay? What's a young man from the Song family, a third-rate family, planning to do here? As for you, if you walk 3 kilometers in this direction, you will see a bunch of garbage tile houses. You can live there without paying any spirit stones. Then sudden laughter drifted over. Haha. You really have no common sense now, do you little rascal? Even though you haven't figured out the rules of Flower Rain City, you still rushed here to participate in the Baidan meeting. There are actually people who recognize Song Yu here. That brat actually deserves to die for this. Even though he was with me for half a month, he never told me that he had friends here. If I knew that before, I wouldn't have disguised myself as him. Haha, you little rascal. You're just as much of a scaredy-cat as you were before. No wonder why my little sister didn't fall for you. Partner, what you said is absolutely correct. You probably don't want to see me either, so I'll just leave right now. Hey, hold on. That's strange. Why does it feel like something about you is off today? What do you mean by partner? Why are you calling me something so weird? Crap, I'm about to be found out. Once my identity has been exposed, the men from Yuming Valley will come after me. If that happens, how could I participate in the Baidan meeting? Should I take him out right now? Ah, right. Do you still hold a grudge from that day when Wanna declined your marriage proposal, thus damaging your honor? I never knew you were so petty. Are you still complaining about that? I got it. When he heard this, Zhuo Fan's eyes sparkled and his heart leaped. It was as if he was grasping straws while drowning and finally found purchase. That was a very important clue. If you already knew that, why bother asking? Starting from today, we will have nothing to do with each other. From now on, I don't want to see you again. Now this is where you're making a mistake. Why do you have to drag me into whatever happened between you and my sister? On top of that, don't forget, we're partners. We went to get slammed together before, heh. So it turns out he's a drinking buddy, eh? If that's the case, this matter is easy to deal with. Heh, brave people don't brag about past exploits. In terms of those, you are definitely inferior to me. What? I last longer than you by far. I can take 8 rounds while you only 5. The young master then made an obvious gesture towards Zhuo Fan. Those 3 days and 3 nights really make you lose track of time, eh? Disgusting. She then proceeded to walk out of the tavern and let the 2 perverts to their vile imagination. It seems like I managed to stay hidden for the time being. Judging from how well dressed these 2 siblings are, their families are at least second-rate. If that's the case, then the next step is from my good old big brother here. Brother, we haven't seen each other in a long time. Would you care to join me for a chat with just the 2 of us? Extract as much information as possible. Brother Song Yu, cheers. Zhuo Fan and the young master were like best pals now, chit-chatting what all young men talked about those days. His name is Dong Tianba. He belongs to a first-rate family in his city, however in the Tianyu Empire as a whole, it's a second-rate family. Once upon a time he was ordered by his father to go to Yeyu City. That's where he met Song Yu. Song Yu was desperate to climb the social ladder and ended up becoming his friend. He wanted Song Yu to marry his sister, Dong Xiaowan. Dong Xiaowan is the only daughter and jewel of the Dong family. With Song Yu's talent, it was shameful for her to marry him. Of course, their father kicked him out and even reprimanded Dong Tianba. Dong Xiaowan is always scolding her brother for this. I'm your own sister, yet you're engaging me to such a man. You prodigal son. In the Dong family's eyes, Song Yu might be a piece of shit. But for Dong Tianba, he's a close friend and confidant. What prodigal son? It called being true to yourself, not being hypocrites like them. What kind of a brother is this? Some people sucked up to him and he's ready to hand his sister over to them. If I was his father, I would have severely punished him. Why don't you let your sister marry someone she likes? I really worry for the future of the Dong family and his sister's happiness. Even his family elders can only stand by and watch. It's truly just a case of two oddballs becoming friends. It has nothing to do with their status. Brother Song. Where's your sister? Didn't she come? She dropped me off and went back home. Hey, the world is full of beautiful women. Why is Brother Dong looking for a small-time girl like my sister? She is not good enough for you. There are many girls in Huayu City who are not inferior to her. Why don't you look for them? You don't get it. The woman of Huayu must never be touched. Dong Tianba made sure no one was around before whispering. The House of Huayu is the only family in the 7 royal families that is led by a woman. For thousands of years they recruit men from large families to marry into their family, and it's going on till this day. So, the status of the women there is quite high. So what? You can't pursue a woman you fall in love with? Hey brother you, the more we talk, the more I feel you've changed. Don't you know that pursuing and flirting are just different words with the same meaning? Zhuo Fan laughed in dismay. Yes. Exactly. Brother Dong is really smart. So, Brother Dong, what other rules are there? Like this in. Oh, I forgot to tell you. During the 100 Pills Festival there are too many families attending, so they have rules for accommodation. Third-rate families can only stay in the slums, second-rate families can stay in the inns, the first-rate families are accommodated by the 15th house master of the Huayu. As for the 7 royal families. Wait, the 7 royal families are here too? Of course, they may be at war with each other, but 2 or 3 of them come and they're entertained by the house master of the Huayu. People from the Yuming Valley are already here. No wonder there were people from Yuming Valley looking for me at the city gates. They weren't sent to every city. They followed someone here because of the 100 Pills Festival. Since they're representing Yuming Valley, there is surely an elder. Who's here from the Yuming Valley? Wrinkling his brows, Dong Tianba shook his head. But then a man burst through the door huffing. Master Dong, something terrible has happened to Miss Dong. What? Take me to her now. Dong Tianba jumped to his feet and rushed with the 4 elders. Zhuo Fan was right behind them. They arrived at a market. There were many people standing at the sideline in silence. A fine and charming lady stood in front of a stall, holding a delicate piece of jewelry. Her phoenix eyes darted towards the crying woman on the ground. What happened? Who did this to you? Don't worry brother, let's go. Who let you leave? I just told you to slap yourself 30 times and now you want to leave. I don't care who you are, but when I find out your identity, your whole family will die horribly. Crestfallen and shivering, Dong Xiaowan started slapping herself and her already swollen face began growing redder and bulgier along with the tears of humiliation. Xiaowan, stop it. What's going on here? Brother, it's my fault. I fell in love with a piece of jewelry and wanted to buy it, but she too. My sister was the one who saw it first. Even though you took it from her, why are you treating her like this? Haha, I asked her for it and she didn't give it to me. She only gave it to me because I used force. I'm not in a good mood anymore. I should punish her a little, shouldn't I? He turned his flaming eyes of rage to the lady in red. Despicable woman. If I don't beat you into a pulp today, then my name wouldn't be Dong, the king of the skies. Unfortunately, a gale stopped him as a white figure flashed in front of him. Bam! The noise echoed around as Dong Tianba was sent flying into the air. Dan, what happened? Bone refinement, 7th layer? With his strength, even within the 7 aristocratic families, he'd still be favored. Such a disciple was considered the cream of the crop among the 7 houses. It's nothing, there were just some foolish things that have ruined this lady's mood. Oh, they dare offend our Dudan Towers, Miss Xiao? Truly foolish. Hey, what? The Dudan Tower from the 15 Hua Yu Towers? Wana, you. Dong Tianba looked towards his terrified sister in a daze. That was why his sister was so set on bearing this humiliation. No one from the 7 noble houses could be offended, or one's entire clan would go extinct. Weren't you going to hit me? Why'd you stop? Dong Tianba's body shivered and started to regret his transgression. I was at fault for not noticing your grandeur and offending Miss in my rash action. Please pardon me. Forgive your crimes. What crimes have you committed? Didn't you say it just now, that it was I who stole your sister's toy and was hell-bent on humiliating her? For you to stand up for her is reasonable, but, do you really think you have the ability to? The punishment for biting off more than I can chew is that this servant should be beaten. He then slapped himself 6 times and his face swelled. The people around shook their heads. Stumbling upon any from the 7 houses was bound to bring humiliation to your entire clan. HMPH, what scum, no fun at all. Why are all the men here garbage? They've got no spirit at all. Brother Tian Yu, do you want to have some fun with them? Dan, what sort of tricks are you up to now? I see that this lad treats his sister quite well, so I have an idea. You're quite able in martial arts, and you're very understanding, so I've decided to let you off the hook this time. If you can strip all of those ladies' clothes off, whilst under the protection of a couple of bone-refining elites, then that lady is yours to play with, and our Huayu Towers will not look into your matters of bullying women. What? Dong Xiaowan shivered and Dong Tianba's eyes were bloodshot. This has passed the point of bullying. You're not even treating us as human beings anymore. Even if you're one of the 7 aristocratic families, this sort of behavior is unforgivable. Yet the youth in white waved her proposal off. Dan, you've mistook this, brother. Our Kuaihua forest might have the words Kuaihua in our name, but we aren't licentious people. Your request is very troubling for me to do, haha. Seeing your excited face, I'm still not judging you, so what's there to be wary of? In the end, in July of the next year, I'll still become one of your people, and you'll still marry into my Huayu Tower. This won't change anything. Hee. Since you've made this request, I can't go against it. But you'll have to remember that, this is just a game. You can't try and get me back for this in the future. Fine. Xiao Dandan rose the corner of her mouth. Hee. This humble servant is Lin Tianyu from the Kuaihua Forest, and the future son-in-law of the Huayu Towers. And you've heard it yourselves, this isn't due to my being a pervert and an oppressor of the people. The truth is that you've offended my future wife first. I'm only here to conduct the punishment. The youth in white walked towards Dong Xiaowan, who shivered at each of his steps. Sir Lin. Just now, the Mrs. rules, I've heard them very clearly. But I've only got one question. Perhaps by some luck, we were able to block you once, what will you do? If you can block him even once, then we'll let bygones be bygones, and this miss, we'll let it go. Great. Then, sorry for the offense. Your expression is good, but... A figure flitted by and Lin Tianyu was already behind Dong Xiaowan. His hand even held the delicate clothes of the latter. Pitifully, you don't have the power, compete. This lad's cultivation may be in the 7th layer, but his strength is only equal to someone that's in bone refinement 6th layer. His cultivation has been mostly focused on his speed. But in this case, it's the classic mistake of putting the cart before the horse. Even if you're faster than light itself, without any strength, you won't be able to harm anyone. In the future, when his cultivation reaches another level, this difference will only be more apparent. This seemingly chic lad is actually a cultivation disaster. No wonder he's sent to the Huayu Tower by the Kuaihua Forest, even though he's only a bone refinement 7th layer. But, with only the King of the Skies, Dong, and those 3 old men by her side, it isn't enough. Elders, surround the young miss. Yes, it's useless, with so few of you. You won't even be able to see me. Ah. Dong Xiaowan cried out once again. Her second article was removed, even under heavy guard. Ah, how fragrant. Lin Tianyu sniffed hard at the clothing in his hand. The second piece of clothing is already so intoxicating. I wonder what the young Mrs. Underwear will be like. Dong Xiaowan let out a shiver and cried in fear. Brother, I will definitely protect you. Dong Tianba mustered his courage with a roar. Your big brother will definitely protect you. Stop wasting our time, go. Dong Xiaowan watched him in sorrow and closed her eyes, resigned to her fate. Dong Tianba powerless and helpless. Wana, I'm so sorry, your big brother is unable to protect you. Then, sudden footsteps were heard and a figure overshadowed Dong Tianba. Brother Dong. This is the final attack, mind if I join in? Who are you? Scratching his nose, Shuafan pointed at Dong Xiaowan. Hey, I'm her husband. What? Seeing the widespread shock, Shuafan rushed to explain. That's incorrect. She's my wife, isn't that the same thing? The crowd exclaimed. I went to her house to propose before, but I was rejected, so I'm her ex. Whatever, the addition of such a fool won't be a hindrance. Plus, seeing a love-struck fool watching his beloved being stripped by someone else, it'll be quite interesting. Haha. Since Dan doesn't mind at all, then I won't worry about it. Even if more people join in, the end result will always be the same. Brother, this matter, you shouldn't have joined in. Hee. Brother Dong, don't be so polite, we're brother-in-laws, so whenever you're in trouble I'll always come and help. I chose the right person, brother is truly faithful and loyal. Dong Tianba was moved to tears. Zhuo Fan then gazed at Dong Xiaowan with a smile of reassurance. Relax, I won't let him take another piece of your clothes. She thought Zhuo Fan was using this chance to take advantage of her, but his clear eyes evoked unknown feelings in her heart. Zhuo Fan now turned to Lin Tianyu and stuck out his hand. Come. Lin Tianyu's smile of mockery froze on his face. You brat, how obnoxious. Once I'm done with this young miss, I'll deal with you. Dong Tianba sensed his killing intent. He's only a buffoon, brother Dong, you don't have to worry. Aware of the change in the atmosphere, Zhuo Fan still sported a casual smile. Brother Tianyu, you've been laughed at by a fool. Xiao Dandan felt the atmosphere was lacking, so she added oil to the fire. Might as well deal with him after stripping that little miss. The words of a hothead, this brother won't take them to heart. This is the last piece, now let this sir admire this young miss. This is my chance. In your dreams. He didn't even get the chance to react when a fist smashed into his pretty face. He went tumbling through the air and smacked the pavement before he could get his bearing. What? Hussies, deserve to be beaten. You managed to hit him? There certainly was something that had hit my fist, but I actually wanted to send him flying. In a casual manner, Zhuo Fan rubbed his presumably sore fist. Aya, my hand is in pain. That's great. How did you manage to do that, brother? When I didn't even see a glimpse of his shadow. Is it a requirement to see him? Doesn't he only have one target? When waiting for hares by the tree, isn't the hare the one that's dumb enough to crash into the tree? So that's why. Even if his speed is inhuman, in the end, he's only targeting Dong Xiaowan. So you just have to stare at her. Genius. Sir Song is truly a genius. No wonder our family's young master looks up to Sir. Sister, see, I told you that Brother Song is a man of intelligence and good morals, now you've seen it for yourself. If it weren't for him, you would have gotten in big trouble. Waving it off, Zhuo Fan made eye contact with Dong Tianba. Brother Dong, whether this matter can be forgiven, isn't something you can decide for yourself. Dong Tianba walked before Xiao Dandan with a smile. My lady, we have by chance blocked Sir Ling's attack. I believe that the followers of the Hua Yu Towers are true to their words. So let's let bygones be bygones. This slave will be taking his sister back home. Halt. This lady shall not look into this matter any further, but, pitifully, it seems that Brother Tian Yu won't let you go as easily. Chumph, I have never taken such a heavy punch in this many years of living. But I won't use my authority just to bully people, it's just that this game has piqued my interest, and I'm very hesitant of stopping when the game was just getting good. So, why don't we carry on until I'm satisfied? What? I wonder, how do we really make this game end? Only when I am satisfied, will this game end. Isn't this just forcing us to lose? You really won't stop until you strip my family's almost non-existent honor off? You're just fucking bullies. Zhuo Fan scratched his nose and tightened his fist. It seems that there's no reason for me to be courteous anymore. I originally didn't want this matter to be of any note, but these degenerates are just asking for it. I've given them a chance but they just didn't want it. This game looks to be quite fun, might as well count me in. In the past, me and Brother Dong had played a game quite similar to this, hadn't we, Brother Dong? But now, you're trying to strip my woman, yet I can't strip yours. This seems a little bit unfair, doesn't it? You only landed a hit on me by chance. Do you think you now have the ability to fight against me? Dream on. Sir Ling, are you unconfident, or are you just afraid of your wife? Chuckles resounded all around, Xiao Dandan's included. Despite being fearful of the 7 houses, everyone cursed them behind their backs. Recently, a Thatcher has risen up the ranks, and suddenly a bunch of foolish teens have the galls to fight against the honor of the 7 aristocratic families. Do you think you really have what it takes? Today, if you're able to take a piece of my clothing off in front of Brother Tianyu, I'll kick him out of the house and marry you. What? Xiao Dandan's challenge first came as a shock. Lady Dandan, don't promise things you aren't sure of. This game may be intense, but don't burst into tears while playing it. I won't shed even a single tear. Now, stop wasting my time, prepare yourselves, this sir is about to attack. Since we had talked about fairness, the people guarding here are a bit much, don't you think? To prevent you from blaming me for this in the future, just leave me alone as the only guard. Brother, my sister will be in your care. Miss Dong, do you trust me? Zhuo Fan stared at Dong Xiaowan. She jumped, but nodded in the end, realizing the repulsive lecher from before was replaced by a reliable young man. That's good, you'll be able to witness a marvelous show later on. But just then, a cackle came into their ears. Haha, this is the last piece, this sir will graciously accept. A crack resounded and Lin Tianyu didn't even get to touch Dong Xiaowan as he was sent tumbling in the air. Before hitting the pavement again, he was filled with shock. You actually saw me? As he turned around, Shuofan's eyes were cold. With a crack of thunder, Shuofan appeared behind Xiao Dandan. His hand flashed and her dress was torn apart. Hee. When comparing our speed, you're still far from my level. How could this be? He had just broke through to the bone refinement realm, yet his speed is faster than Ling Tianyu, who solely trained his speed. That lad actually had such an attack. It even surpassed a disciple of one of the 7 aristocratic families. And he is only from a small and unknown family. No wonder Miss Dan Dan is a follower of the Hua Yu Towers. You're truly different from those typical women that only know how to apply makeup. You're sent. This sir will never forget it. You bastard. You dare molest my wife right in front of my eyes. You're really looking down on my Kwai Hua forest. Merry Woods was known as the Wind House, known for having the fastest speed in the empire. Taking a side glance at Lin Tianyu, Shuofan grinned inside and flashed before Xiao Dandan. You brat, what are you doing? Shuofan watched the red-faced Xiao Dandan and raised an eyebrow in challenge. Miss Dan Dan, I'm very different from that spineless husband of yours. I'm very forceful when it comes to women. Just now, my attack was a bit rougher than usual. You can hit and scold me, but I'll never change. This feeling was so new to her that she didn't know where to place it. You brat, let go of her, or else I won't be so polite. He pulled her closer instead, eliciting a charming cry from Xiao Dandan. It made any male on the scene feel their pulse quickened, swallowing dryly, and sporting wide and nasty grins. Meanwhile, the women around blushed. Lin Tianyu's face was ashen, wishing to tear Shuofan limb by limb. Brother Ling, what are you trying to do? Aren't you the one that suggested for us to play this game? Since ancient times, the winner will obtain everything while the loser will have nothing left. If Brother Ling had won, then the 2 women would have been yours. But now, Miss Dan Dan, this slave has won. May the miss kick that useless man from the family. And let this slave become someone close to you. His tone was soft, yet his words traveled far, particularly stabbing into Lin Tianyu's ears. Xiao Dandan's blushing and faint nod. Lin Tianyu trembled, his lips leaked a trail of blood. You brat, you're getting full of yourself. Haha. So what if I am? The one that was insulting others is now being insulted himself. Talk to me when you actually have the ability to beat me. You piece of shit. Watch me. This sir will now strip that little miss clothes. Then deal with you later. Lin Tianyu appeared before Dong Xiaowan. A slap cuffed him over the ear into the ground. When he looked up, Shuofan was back next to Xiao Dandan, continuing to mock. Miss Dan Dan, that useless husband of yours lost another round again. I'll have to take another piece of your clothes. Miss Dan Dan, forgive me for being rough. Her charming eyes rolled and her face turned rosy, playing coy. Dear, can't you be a little gentler? I was always this rough. I don't think I can change this part of me in this lifetime. You pair of adulterers. Shuofan made sure to even slap him 5 times for good measure. With but one flimsy and thin piece left on Miss Xiao Dandan, Shuofan's grin turned maniacal. Brother Ling, this is your last chance. If you fail again, Miss Dan Dan will become my woman. You asshole, you dare insult someone from one of the 7 aristocratic families. Lin Tianyu's words only worked to goad Shuofan further, who, under Lin Tianyu's rage-filled eyes, landed a kiss on Xiao Dandan's cheek. I'm about to become the Hua Yu Tower's son-in-law. Why would I be scared of your puny Kwai Hua forest? Am I not correct, Miss Dan Dan? Xiao Dandan was so far gone, accepting anything he was throwing at her, that she nodded without remorse. Die, you pair of dogs. I'll personally send you 2 to heaven. He made a hand sign and a green gale gathered around his legs. The sharp whistling spoke of its deadly power as he kicked at them. Mid-spirit ranked martial art, razor kick. Ling Tianyu, you scoundrel. You dare try and kill me in my Hua Yu Tower's territory? You slut. If I don't kill you 2 today, then my dignity as a man is for naught. Brother Ling, is this your last attack? Shuofan's arm snaked around Xiao Dandan's waist while his other acted as a shield. The green gale lashed at Shuofan's arm, but the sounds coming out of it was that of screeching metal. The kick didn't even scratch his arm. It was so weak. How can this be? You're a body cultivator? But how can you be this fast? Who said that body cultivators can't also cultivate their speed? Someone like you, who only trains their speed and disregards their body, is doomed to be a failure. Lin Tianyu felt a sharp pain digging its way into him. He let out one final wail before his eyes lost their light and slumped on the ground. A cultivator in the first layer of the bone-forging realm actually managed to defeat a 7th-layer master with a kick, and said master is a disciple of the Kwaihua forest, one of the 7 royal families. Miss Dan Dan, you've seen it here. I'm not just rough with women, I treat men the same way as well. Even if your fiancé doesn't die now, he won't be able to have children anymore. You wouldn't blame me for this, would you? You're so great. With you here, what use do have for that piece of garbage? Relax, when you marry into my Huayu Towers, the Kwaihua forest won't dare to trouble you. Then I'll have to thank Miss Dan Dan for the care you've given to me. However, Zhuo Fan eyed Xiao Dandan's last vestige of dignity. Based on the rules, your fiancé is on the losing side of the competition, thus I should be taking off your last piece of clothing. Brother, you'll be my man in the future. Do you really wanna embarrass me in front of so many people? Didn't you hear what I said before? The one insulting others is now being insulted himself. I didn't just say that for your fiancé to hear. Zhuo Fan's eyes turned sharp. Suddenly, a loud shout came, stop. And 2 blue silk ribbons drifted over. Zhuo Fan's hand froze in shock. Heavenly profound. I can't reveal my identity right now. So, I just need to showcase how strong I am but within limits. Unlike that known deviant, Zhuo Fan, who could kill a profound heaven expert. What followed next was the arrival of the owner of the ribbons. The people lowered their heads in respect, as did Dong Tianba and his sister. While she walked with light steps, she extended a dainty finger and tapped Xiao Dandan's forehead. What happened? Xiao Dandan looked around in confusion. Why did I do such a thing? She cried in shock and her face went beet red. Foolish child, you've been deceived yet you're still unaware. The woman in blue shook her head, then her eyes snapped to Zhuo Fan. Little brother, if you want to marry a woman from the Huayu Towers, you can fight for her with your skills. Using such tricks as the soul-ensnaring enchanting voice, don't you think it's a bit underhanded? No wonder she's the Huayu Towers Qianxian master. She truly knows a lot. And even managed to discern the rarely seen soul-ensnaring enchanting voice at a glance. The miss is correct, but sadly, I have no intention of pursuing Miss Dan Dan. All this was just to give her a taste of her medicine. Master, don't listen to that bastard. He dares humiliate your disciple in front of this crowd. Clearly, he doesn't have any regard for our Huayu Towers. However, the blue woman eyed her coldly and shouted, "Shut up, do you still want to be laughed at? Unless you have a reason for what you've done, just the fact that you've used the dark arts to entrance a woman from the Huayu Towers is enough to make me want to bring you to justice." The woman then turned her attention to Dong Xiaowan and spoke in apology, "Little miss. This child, Dan Dan, has been severely spoiled by her master. When we go back, I'll be sure to punish her. So please forgive her." "Ah, I don't dare to." The lady in blue smiled as she flew, and 2 ribbons took Xiao Dandan and the unconscious Lin Tianyu. Could it be? Zhuo Fan frowned as he watched her leave. Does she know who I am? Brother. Dong Tianba came with the rest to Zhuo Fan to express his gratitude. This time we've been saved thanks to you. If not, our Dong family wouldn't be able to show our faces again. Big brother song, thanks. The territory of the 7 royal families is truly not a good place to stay. Brother Dong, who's that woman in green clothing? She's the master of the Qing Hua Tower, the number 1 tower of the 15th Huayu Towers, Qin Cai Qing. I see, so that's why her cultivation is this refined. Turns out she was the master of a tower. Hey, we're lucky she's the master of the Qing Hua Tower. Rumor has it that she's very righteous, and wouldn't bully people that are of lower status. If we had met the master of the Dudan Tower, who is known to only protect her disciples and has a terrible temper, then we wouldn't be forgiven this easily. But, if that Qin Cai Qing knows my true identity, then why didn't she reveal it? Or is she afraid that she can't beat me alone, so she left in search of help? Brother, I barely recognize you anymore. Brother Dong. I have something urgent to do, so I'll be leaving first. Let's talk some other day. Hey, I haven't even thanked you enough, but you're already leaving. The 15 Huayu Towers, the Huayu Towers headquarters, reception hall. The master of the Dudan Tower, the 13th Huayu Tower. A charming and enticing woman in red sat in the lounge. She wore a thin veil, obscuring her most prominent features. Elder Ling keeps staring at this slave. Could there be something dirty on this slave's body? Cough cough, it's nothing, Dudan Tower's master. The old man faked his cough and showed an embarrassed smile. This slave is only curious as to why the head of the Huayu Towers isn't here, and instead has sent the Dudan Tower's master to entertain the guests. Could it be that Elder Ling thinks that Du Dan is bad at entertaining guests and wants the head to do it personally? The lady fluttered her eyes at him. The Du Dan Tower's master is very hospitable, extremely, exceedingly. Hey. Oi. Uncle, I'm here to attend the Baidan festival, not to see you two flirt. An angry snort came from Peony Overseer's right, a red-haired elderly. If the Baidan festival isn't starting soon, I'll have to excuse myself. I've got something better to do. Yo, Yuming Valley's fifth elder, where'd you get that hot temper? 000 when we start the Baidan festival is for our head to decide. Right now, the 7 royal families aren't all present, so how can we begin? Du Dan, just ignore his nonsense. Ever since that day, when 3 elders from the Yuming Valley were killed by some boy, their reputation has hit rock bottom, so why would they have the mood to attend the Baidan festival? Right now, the 5th elder must still be pondering about when he'll be killed by that kid. Other than that, he's probably also worrying about when his family's elders will suspiciously die one day. Having to constantly panic over every single thing, it mustn't be very comfortable, haha. Ling Zitian, you fucking piece of shit. 5th elder slapped the table and glared at the middle-aged man. Once you've met him, the amount of elders that'll be killed in the Kwaihua forest will be many more. What? You wanna go at it? What did you just say? Their power was on full display and sparks could fly at any second. Haha. How lively. But laughter interrupted their staring contest. The 2 elders want to fight, count this sir in 2. Those words were made by a man in a green robe entering the guest hall. A youth in his 20s came following behind the elder. He was at peak bone tempering stage. Yet, his tone lacked the respect and manner one should have when talking to the 3 other people present there. Master, you truly are a well-renowned person. When you appeared, both the Yuming Valley and the Kwaihua forest went silent. The trio's faces turned ashen, their anger was slowly rising. Elder Yang, shouldn't you discipline your disciple? He has such terrible manners. Is this how someone from the younger generation should talk to their elders? Yuming Valley's 5th, why take the time to argue with a kid? Is this how an elder should act? Yeah, you don't even have the attitude of an elder, so why should I respect you as an elder? The youth's brash voice was tinted with mockery. 5th elder shivered and his face turned red, itching to pry this fool's head from his body. But he forced his anger down and resumed to clenching his fists. Lin Zitian eyed the 5th elder's anger and secretly sighed. He had some reservations when looking at the elder in green as he forced a laughter. I didn't think that an unimportant event such as the Baidan festival could manage to gather 4 out of the 7 royal families. How lively indeed. Especially with Elder Yang present, this festival will definitely proceed smoothly. Ling Zitian, you don't have to pretend to like me. This sir knows that you can't stand seeing him. But the problem started with the person who named this the Baidan festival. Without me, the vicious medicine king, how can this be called the Baidan festival? The elder in green didn't give Lin Zitian any respect and even mocked him to the point Lin Zitian turned his head away. Elder Yang Song, I don't remember our Huayu Towers ever inviting your Yarrow Wang Hall, so why did you come uninvited? The Dudan Tower's temper is as volatile as ever, it seems. Within this Tianyu Empire, wherever this sir wants to go, he shall go. Who can block him? This sir is adamant on going to your Huayu Towers today, unless you really want to chase this sir out. She was poised to attack, but Lin Zitian stopped her. Dudan Tower's master, calm down. Please, Dudan Tower's master, look at the bigger picture. How is it that the Dudan Tower's master who acts like a little girl, and is unable to hold her temper, be a master? Master, what you've said is correct. A bunch of girls can't accomplish anything significant. These Huayu Towers are clearly the weakest family within the 7 royal families. The youth ridiculed. The eyes of the 3 turned sharply. This vicious medicine king is too arrogant. Even his disciple has no respect for anyone. A beauty in blue floated in, the iris overseer, Qin Saiching. Little brother, us Huayu Towers may consist primarily of women, but we have had a stable footing in the Tianyu Empire for thousands of years. There is, of course, a reason for that. So, not just anyone can criticize us. Senior sister, you're finally back. Where have you been? An uninvited guest has barged into our place, and your sister doesn't know what to do. Wasn't I cleaning up your disciples' mess? I've told you before, you have to be strict towards your disciples, so that they don't tarnish our Huayu Tower's reputation. Who is she? What did she do? Shaking her head, Qin Saiching simply clapped. 2 female disciples brought Xiao Dandan, who was still wrapped in the blue ribbon. With her curves full on display, she earned the youth's fiery gaze. Tian Yu. Who was it? Who was it that had wounded him to this state? Master, is that lad hurt badly? Even if he manages to live through this, he'll be disabled for the rest of his life. Whoever did this is quite cruel. Yang Song enjoyed others' misfortune. The youth laughed in ridicule. The disciples of the Kuai-Hua forest are so weak. To be able to be harmed to this state, the master's abilities mustn't be any better. I simply don't agree with Junior Brother's words. I've seen that person. He may be young, but his strength is on par with a genius disciple of the 7 royal families. Junior Brother may be a disciple of Elder Yang, but even if it's you, he might still have the upper hand. Senior sister, since you saw him, why didn't you capture him? Are his abilities better than yours? Peony Overseer jerked. That may not be true, and you know my attitude. I wouldn't do something without an actual reason. Dan, explain what had happened just now, starting from the very beginning. Yes, Master. Xiao Dandan sobbed a nod, then retold the events. So, it's like that. I don't know what is going on in the Tianyu Empire, but ever since that genius was known, it seems that the other families are starting to look down at our 7 royal families. Harais, if we don't control the situation now, will anyone even respect us in the future? Isn't that because of your Yuming Valley's incompetence? Even now, you still aren't able to capture that lad, and because of that, you've even dragged the other 6 families to feel disappointed with you. Yang Song mocked. Yeah, this is our fault. But needing the elders to settle he fights of their disciples, isn't that an embarrassment to the 7 royal families? 5th elder wasn't angry as he turned to the youth behind him with a smile. Ling Zitian, it's a pity that you didn't bring one of your disciples with you today. If not, you could have sent him to get revenge for Tian Yu and maybe salvage the remains of Dandan's reputation. The youth jumped in front of Xiao Dandan before Lin Zitian could reply, and took her arm. Come with me, I'll get revenge for you. Outrageous. This lad has no discipline at all. He dares to drag away this madam's disciple, right in front of this madam. Peony Overseer's lip trembled in rage. And with that short declaration, the two were gone, causing the 5th elder to show a broad smile. In this world, women are destined to follow after men. Your Huayu towers aren't going to last long. Yang Song waved his hand as he walked off. It seems that old man has also realized it. The 5th elder's eyes squinted as he too took the initiative to leave. Why is everyone leaving? Lin Zitian frowned, eyeing Qin Saiqing with a profound gaze. Qinghua Tower's master. Are you sure that person isn't the infamous, devilish genius? Ha! That genius. Peony Overseer jerked. I'm not sure. That lad's talent may be irregular, but it isn't to the point where he can kill a heavenly profound master. Maybe he's just pretending. Even the vicious medicine king has gone to watch the competition. If that person really is that genius, the one who killed Yu Guiqi, then if his disciple went there, he's going to die. When that happens, Yang Song will definitely put his foot down, but we don't know if this genius will be able to kill the vicious medicine king who's even more dangerous than Yu Guiqi. I hope he really is that genius. Under the faint rays of dusk, Shuofan was venturing alone through the city. It's been a while. Yet there's no sign of any masters coming after me. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Wasn't my identity discovered? HMPH, a bunch of good-for-nothings. Lowlifes will always remain lowlifes, just like how cheap mud can't make the wall last long. No wonder you're all sent to the ghettos. Zhuofan spoke in a harsh voice, no longer paying them any heed. Zhuofan suddenly halted. His eyes watched the house before him with skepticism. That house at the end of the road, it looks better than the others I've passed. But why doesn't anyone live there? Brother, if you need shelter, come with me. Why? Harais, you've just arrived so you don't know. Just behind there lives a woman with a contagious disease. Her entire body is filled with poison. There used to be some people who didn't know about it and went to live in that house. Even if they'd never touched that woman, they would still die in 3 days. Yeah, the people here, no matter how poor, wouldn't dare live in this place. It's only because of the Baidan festival that in these months, there's no more space in the Huayu towers, so we were sent to this hellhole. Those bastards, the Huayu towers who are the masters of the Huayu city, why haven't they chased that woman out and instead left her here to cause trouble? No matter how scary that woman may be, she came to this place first. Let's not talk about the fact that you barged into this place. Now you even want to chase her out, not to mention some of you might want to kill her. Who are the dangerous ones here? Shouldn't it be obvious? Brother, do you want to die? The dissolving demon secrets can melt away everything on this earth. Naturally it'd include this contagious disease of hers. Don't worry, I still have a long way to go. Zhuofan waved him off. The further I go, the colder it becomes. This is definitely not just a contagious disease, it must be a ruse. Who is it? Zhuo Fan followed the shout to see a girl before a broken-down house in rough linen staring at him. The girl may be dressed in coarse linen, hiding her form and face, but her pure eyes caught Zhuo Fan off guard. What beautiful eyes! Zhuo Fan admired. The girl's cheeks turned a tint rosier. Her eyes lowered a bit but still had the same coldness. Who are you? And who let you in here? This slave is Song Yu from Yiyu City. I've come to attend the Bai Dan festival. But because I'm from a low-ranking family, I could only settle here. If you want to live here, then go to the front. Are you not afraid of dying by coming here? Yes, miss. This slave believe death is unimportant. Those guys in front are all selfish and ungrateful. I'm frankly disgusted to even live with them. If I could, I'd rather die in this lonely place. You fool, don't try and pretend to be smart in front of me. Do you think I'd believe you? She huffed. Zhuo Fan made a heartbroken face. Lady, I'll be honest. All the people before are stronger than me and I can't beat them. If you throw me out, I will die at their hands. To such a sound argument, the lady nodded, believing it somewhat. From now on, you shall sleep over there. Remember, don't come out at night. Or else you'll die. Yes, miss, I promise that I won't wander around idly. He narrowed his eyes and his revering gaze now turned to one of coldness. Her cultivation, I wasn't able to see through it. Could she have broken through to the god realm? Or is she just a regular human being? But if she's just a normal person, in front of me, a bone refinement master, why would she have such an aura? Zhuo Fan's mouth perked up into a grin and entered his house. H, how interesting. Even if you won't let me go out, whatever happens in the night, I'll definitely get to the bottom of it. Time trickled by and the night cast a cloak of darkness over the slums. A sudden ripple came from the slums, followed by a sharp decrease in temperature. Zhuo Fan shivered and muttered, I was right. It's definitely a stratagem. His hand flashed and revealed a small bottle. It contained the same pill he used in All Beast Mountain Range, an energy-concealing pill. Zhuo Fan flicked it into the air and a flash of red came from his body and swallowed it. Once the blood-red baby swallows this aura-concealing pill, even if the other person is a Tian Xian Shenjiao master, it still won't be discovered that easily. Now go. That place was in ruins that formed an odd array. The lady sat upright in its center, deep in meditation. The bright moonlight, with its extreme coldness, entered inside the array then her body, while the rest chilled the slums. A third-rate stratagem, the moon stratagem. So that's how those people that came here before died. That woman is just trying to heal her disease. Those people didn't know better and walked near the site and had the moonlight's demonic force sucked into their body. Those without the strength to handle it will die on the spot. But the reason why that woman is sucking in so much moonlight's demonic force is to suppress the poison circulating in her body. By using this method, she's only temporarily solving her problems and ignoring the consequences that will come later. Too much moonlight's demonic force can damage the arteries. By the end of it, she'll be disabled. And if the poison flares up at that time, it'll be more intense than before. To put it in simple terms, she'll die if it flares up then. I wonder what type of poison it is, to have to use such an extreme method of suppression. At the first ray of dawn, in its shine, the ice on the scourge woman thawed. The lady opened her eyes and sighed with exhaustion. Miss. A cry of shock came from Zhuo Fan, holding fruits to his bosom as he staggered towards her. The scourge woman jumped to her feet and waved the leaves to cover the array. Didn't I tell you not to wander around? What are you doing here? Miss. You said to not walk around at night, but it's already daytime. The scourge woman was stunned, then blushed. She rebuked. If you want to stay here, then just stay in that dilapidated house. Don't idle about, even in the day, or I'll kick you out. Oh. He hanged his head and walked away with remorse. Miss, you can see that I don't look so good. Here, have these fruits that I picked for you this morning. Thanks for letting me live here. He made himself out to seem as though he was a particularly bleak figure, filled with loneliness who had suffered a dash of injustice. The woman turned from him to the fruits and her heart softened. Picking one up. She still ate the fruits I gave her. If she accepts my fruits, that means that I have made an impression on her. Zhuo Fan's back was towards her but his soul gave him full knowledge of her every move. He let out a devious grin. The next step now is to get closer to her and try to figure out what type of poison she's been inflicted with. Medicine that revives the dead is only a minute difference away from being a poison that can kill. Since I have nothing to do, might as well start by investigating this woman. Maybe I'll find some clues along the way. Hey, women may be good at deceiving. But, Zhuo Fan snickered inside as he slumped away from her sight. They are also easily deceived. The Scourge woman was doing her usual routine, sitting upright on a rock, absorbing the sunshine one breath at a time. A sudden hubbub pierced her ears, disturbing her inner peace. Kill him. Kill that bastard. She watched a throng of people raving. Beat him. Kill that bastard. She shook her head ready to leave, but Zhuo Fan yelled at the top of his lungs. I won't allow you to slander her. She's a good person. That damn woman has caused so many deaths, yet you're still defending her. You deserve to die. Everything is first come, first served. She lived here first. You guys are the ones that came and took her space and died due to some unknown cause. Now you're putting the blame on the missus' head. Are you guys even men anymore? This brat is still being stubborn. Kill him before that happens. Yes, this brat is clearly on her side. The crowd began chanting like madmen. Hold it. A crisp shout rang in their ears. They turned in shock, then shivered in fear, staggering away. It's that woman. Be careful, everyone. Don't get close to her. The Scourge woman walked straight to Zhuo Fan and helped him stand. She only eyed the crowd around them, then brought him back to the plagued house. The dazzling show of light struck the core of everyone. Time to knock off for the day. Let's divide the money. Nice. There are over 10,000 of them in this pile alone. Isn't that lad supposed to be from some third-rate family? How could he have so many spiritual stones on him? Hey, stop butting in on other people's matters. If he wants to pay people to beat him up, then it's his business. As that young master said, there are 50,000 here altogether. Each person can only take 1,000, no more no less. I see, that young master must be wanting to seduce that woman, but even if he wants to seduce someone, why not a disciple from the Who Are You Towers? Does he want to die? To try and get together with that woman? But his words were welcomed with a flurry of blows. The man turned in shock at the angry stocky man. I just told you guys. After receiving your money, forget about what happened today and don't mention this to anyone else. If it's because of one or two chatterboxes that results in this information being leaked, all of us here will be doomed. Isn't he just a rich, young master? How can he be any threat? Even if he's from a second-rate family, stop talking, you moron. It's only because you haven't seen it for yourself. If you offend that young master, you definitely won't want to know what will happen next. He's a demon that's wearing a human suit. Those that disobey him were reduced to dust with the wave of his hand, except for me. In a flash, they clamped their mouths and left after taking their share of spirit stones. On the other side, the Scourge woman took Zhuo Fan to the broken-down house. A small bottle appeared in her hand after seeing his bruised up and bleeding body. She ordered in a rather cold voice, "Here, eat this." Zhuo Fan knew it was a healing pill, but he turned his head away. How could those useless bone-tempering men even dent his perfect fifth-grade demonic treasure body? His wounds were self-inflicted to stir pity in the Scourge woman's heart. The woman, however, was perplexed. Are you afraid that this is poisonous? If I accepted this without hesitation, aren't you going to instantly leave me afterwards? I'm not even afraid of you, so why would I be afraid of a pill? Didn't you tell me to scram? Why did you still come to my aid? Then, why are you speaking up for me in front of them? Aren't you afraid of being beaten to death? If I were slightly late to arrive, you would have died. Of course, I knew that if someone had absorbed the moonlight's demonic force the day before, they would have to sit at the place where the sun shines the brightest and absorb its scorching hot rays the next day, and use it to warm their blood. So I'd already searched out the perfect time and the place where the sun shines the brightest and hired some men to put on a show. When one is disturbed while trying to cultivate, even the most patient person will go and find the cause. You could say that everything is going along with my plans. Zhuo Fan laughed inside. Zhuo Fan turned his head and stared right in her eyes. And all of this is to take down the barrier surrounding her heart, so that she will let me into her heart. Until her own eyes faltered away. He spoke with emotion. My mother used to say that the eyes are the window to one's soul. People with beautiful eyes can't be bad people. Sister, you have beautiful eyes, and you're willing to accept me. You must be a good person. Those people that slander your name and harm others, I'll definitely protect your good name against their word. The effect was obvious. The Scourge woman's cheeks tinted red and snapped, "Sweet talker, of course. The easiest way for a man to take down a woman's barrier is not to speak sweet nothings into her ear, but instead to evoke their maternal instincts. Thank you, Brother Dong. Thank you for your ways of seducing women. Sister, I've known you for this long, but I still don't know how to call you. What do you mean by for this long? We've only met for a total of 3 times. Rolling her eyes, the scourge woman mumbled, You, call me Sister Choo Choo. Okay then, Sister Choo Choo. Zhuo Fan put on a puppy-eyed face that made even him nauseous. I'm about to puke from all this acting. But there's no other way. Women only buy this trick. Suck it up. Now, you can finally eat the pill. Feed me, Sister Choo Choo. Zhuo Fan smiled and opened his mouth. Sighing, Choo Choo shook her head helpless, glared, but she still extended him a pill with her dainty hand. Zhuo Fan saw her hand approaching and grabbed her wrist suddenly, pouring in his yuan qi. His yuan qi didn't travel far as a sudden chill, caused by the yin power, broke his contact, and a thin layer of ice crystals formed on his hand. Zhuo Fan was in shock. This is her. The thing residing in her body is